Okay. Okay. Let's do this.
You on?
Okay, there we go. Yep.
Penis.
Is talking reckless two words or one?
Oh, geez. 2 words.
What?
I mean, to get to the channel, it's... What are you asking?
Yeah. No, I meant like I'm because I'm putting talking reckless in the Dan's cave is the title of the
two
stream.
words. 2 words.
Two.
Talking reckless is not a word. Talking reckless is
still not a word the way it's spelled.
That is the way you spell. Uh-oh. I heard him for a second.
Cracks. They're fine.
I've seen. Oh, just ignore him.
Oh, whoops.
Everything's fine. Don't worry about it.
Pull that down.
You can just see my forehead.
I've seen it spelled reckless the way Eid spells it.
That's the only way to spell it. Reckless with a W is not a real word.
Why did I? Well, wreck isn't wreck.
Wreck. Yes. You can get in. You can get into Rex. You can't. There's no wreck more.
Hold on. I'm sorry. There's a what's the difference kind of post online. It says to recap, reckless is not a word.
It's not a word.
It's not a word. It would actually mean the opposite of reckless, which is an adjective that describes something that is dangerously careless or unconcerned with consequences. Reckless is the correct spelling. Reckless is a common misspelling of reckless.
Boom.
Wow.
If I weren't typing out this tweet, I would dab on all of you.
Wow. Here I am having my mind blown.
Although I believe if you go to Talking Reckless with a W, I used to pay for both domains. I do not anymore. All right, never mind.
Yeah. Highly sought after domain.
Because nobody knows how to spell reckless.
That's right.
Is lie. Oh,
yeah, I was going to tweet about that. Give me where's my Twitter?
Where's my Twitter?
Hold on there.
20th day of September. Is this 20? Is this 296? Is this 296?
Huh.
Buckle up for 2 hours of this, everyone.
Oh, when does the podcast officially start? Will you say?
Sometimes. It hasn't already started. I'm making sure my framing is all good. My framing is not all good.
I'll be able to explain to at least 1 or 2 people before we actually officially start. I'm probably going to be ignoring you all, but I love you.
Well, you need a bot. That's why you need a bot command. That's why you just got to ignore them on the regs, and then nobody ever
then they won't know
anything's
up.
It's for the same reason I never smile. You should never talk to your chat. Wow, just kidding, you guys. Tough crowd. Fucking tough crowd out here tonight.
I'm typing something.
I thought you were talking to your chat.
He might. That's what I thought too.
Also,
us.
Just out there talking, just putting things out into the universe and seeing what comes back.
Would you say you were talking reckless?
I wouldn't, but
all right.
Especially.
I wouldn't.
Especially.
I wouldn't.
Oh God.
Here we go.
Let's not. I'm sorry.
It's too late already.
The zero's been broken.
Lady Guinan.
The deed is done, indeed.
Good episode.
We'll let the folks. I forgot to do the. 1 week. No, more than that. A week plus a day, and Disney Plus will be upon us.
Oh my God.
Mandalorian.
Oh,
that's day.
Kind of like Werner Herzog. It's a Mandalorian.
That's day and date, right? That's November the 12th. That all happens.
Yes. And The Simpsons. 30 seasons of The Simpsons will all be available to you all.
Dear Lord.
The world.
Dear Lord.
I forgot about that. I'm definitely gonna. That's nice.
That's nice. It'll be nice to not have to grab the DVDs and swap the discs and whatever. Because I mean, that's what Liz and I are going through season 6 right now.
Or pay if you were gonna pay for the seasons on
streaming thing. Pay grow up.
$7.99 or $6.99. Is that even paying? I mean, it's just like
losing money not to buy.
Change.
That looks pretty good. I mean, is that framing perfect? Yes, it is.
The most perfect. The Bearded Trinity, the Three Amigos, the Council of Beards. I like all these names.
The Beard Brothers.
The Council of Beards. The Beard Bros.
Every time I look over at the because I have all our faces here. I see myself, and it's upsetting.
You're in the middle here. I'm looking at all three of us. I'm on the right. You're in the middle, and Max is on the left. So if anybody's watching this at any point, if I'm looking constantly to the right, it's because I'm a narcissist asshole.
I got a Dan sandwich going on in mine.
Oh yeah, I got an Eid sandwich going on here.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, buddy. Sexy. All right, I'm gonna bring us in here. Y'all ready?
Yep.
In 3, 2. You don't say the one. You really don't say the one after as well. Hi, welcome to the show. It is November the 4th, 2019, episode 296 EX. My name's Matt Eads. I'm joined by Max Gonzalez.
Hello, that's me.
And DanzNewz.
Oh shit! Now he did it quicker than I thought he was. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm DanzNewz. Max was talking during my intro.
Scrap it all.
Professional.
Scrap it all. Welcome back, gang. Thanks for joining me again on this live internet podcast. We're here to talk about all things Planet Zoo. We're here to get some leaves. We're here to get some high quality animals to then.
That's also coming out in 2 days. So
sell for leaves.
Oh, it hasn't even come out yet.
Coming out in 2 days.
What are you doing? Oh yeah, the
bears.
The different elephants, giraffes.
That's why I brought the zoo crew back. Zoo crew, let me see your hands. Oh, 10 million pairs of hands just went up at home as well.
How many people are live watching? It's like the TRWL league and all that stuff where it's like millions viewing.
We have 581 million. Yes, tuned into our last TRWL event then. That's correct. Our next event is on November the 15th. I heard a rumor that Dan is not in the league, unfortunately, but one Mask Danielson, whoever that mysterious character is, and one Max Gonzalez might be forming a little tag team. There could be, there could be tag team titles up for grabs.
There's no secret to that. He's me. I'm him.
Yeah, Max Gonzalez is the one and only, obviously.
Yeah.
All I can say about Mask Danielson is he has a nice ass.
He's looking strong, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Friday, November the 15th. Join us for Revolution, I think, is the name of this one. Revolution sounds right. We're going to fucking all the way around. 360. Back to where we started.
What was the one Resurrection?
Yeah.
Resurrection will happen at some point.
That'd probably be
after
the next
Decimation will be Resurrection. No, you got to.
Decimation doesn't even start with an R.
I know. Well, is that the thing? Is no matter what, it's an R?
Yeah.
Kind of how it's been.
Okay. What's something that would be? Man, yeah, some sort of
reduction. I don't know.
Restitution.
That comes way later. That's like after we offend our audience and have to do all these things. That's our for anyone who doesn't know, the TRWL Twitch's only and premier live video game wrestling league. 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks as of recording time today. I think I had something else to say. Nope. Apparently that's all. That's on the announcements.
All right.
Wrap it up. Thanks for joining me. How you guys been? It's been like a month, I think, since our last EX.
Was it a month? I don't think it was like
maybe 3 weeks.
3 weeks, something like that.
I don't know. I
don't know.
I can look on the old website.
An endless loop that is ever flowing.
It's a flat circle. Let's see. TR 292 EX Planet Zoo was on October the 7th. So yeah, just about a month.
Just about a month. Wow.
Perfect.
I knew it wasn't quite there, but yeah.
We said October 2nd. It was a month.
7th.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
And now, well, I mean, the joke really wrote itself that Planet Zoo is releasing this week as well, and here we are once more.
I didn't even realize that until I got an email and you're like, "Hey, Planet Zoo's coming out on the 5th. Are you ready?" I'm like,
"Planet Zoo's coming out."
I didn't even mean it. It's just
ready for the planet of the zoo.
Just get it all out of our system. Hoo-wee. Just get it all out.
Have you talked about that on the podcast at all?
Yeah, a little bit here and there. The folks, it's no secret that I am now a Rick and Mortar. What are they? Is there a
Stan? You're a Rick and Morty Stan.
I don't know.
Yeah. You're a Stan user. You use Stan.
What is that?
You like
What is that? Stan?
Stan. Yeah.
You've never heard Stan before?
I have. I just don't really know what it means.
Max seems like he hasn't heard of it.
As in like Eminem?
Oh, he doesn't know what stand.
Yeah,
is.
like
you
like
never
Eminem.
stand for anything.
He doesn't know.
No, you don't.
He doesn't. He's never stand.
You're not a stand for anything.
It stands this joke right now. I don't know what the hell's going on.
I think. Okay, here's what I think it means. Not totally. No, I think it just means super fan, right? Super plus fan.
Derivative of Eminem's
Where does
stand.
the T come out of?
Is
that?
I think it is derivative of Marshall Mathers.
Marshall Mathers, yeah. So
there you go.
stand.
I think.
See,
again,
I was correct.
I've only been standing for a few weeks now, so I don't really know either.
I don't know the etymology of the word, but
that's 100% what it is. I don't know any other reference for stand for anything like that. I'm Planet Zoo.
So we stand Planet Zoo.
Oh yeah.
I haven't played. Full disclosure, I haven't played it. If a copy falls into my lap, I might.
Yeah, it's
I might.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good. If I get extra copies, I'll happily roll them out like leaves.
Oh, those premium, not a premium currency, but hey, you should listen to that episode we had 4 weeks ago, and you'll know all about Planet Zoo.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about it right now.
It was a ruse. It was a joke. All right, let's grow up. Let's get serious here for a little bit and talk about the most serious thing: video games.
I was hoping you were going to be like, tapes. They're gone, and we don't use them anymore. It's sad.
You can't have I wish I had one within arm's reach. I still have from the last podcast. I still have my Game Boy Color sitting right here, but I have a VHS of Liar Liar laying.
Turn it. Does it make? Can you hold it up to the mic? Does it make the noise?
We did this last time.
Did we? On the podcast?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
it's happening.
I think I said something to the effect of like, "Oh, what a good noise," or something. And then I talked about how I never got a color. I always had a shitty fucking gray one. I think that was.
All right. Well, that one's on me. Okay. I can't remember what we said seconds after finishing the podcast.
For anybody, so here we go.
All right, do it again.
Yeah, I heard it.
Nice. I also actually have my games right here too. I have my games right here too.
Pokemon Pinball.
This is Harvest Moon. You couldn't tell it because the thing came off.
Is that a bootleg? That's what you say when you buy a bootleg cart.
No, it's the right thing. Donkey Kong Land. Yeah, Donkey Kong Land. Yeah. And Wario Land 3. Thank you very much.
Cartridges are so tiny.
Yeah.
Also, there's some. All three of them have a jiggle.
Yeah, well, one of wherever that big one is might have some of them had like motion packs in them. Pokemon Pinball had a.
Yeah, this one has a little bit of a
motion pack in the cartridge.
Oh, really? Like a little rumble?
Yeah, like you
or sense motion.
You were tilting it, I think. Am I crazy? I think
they had tilt controls back then.
It was like only on certain cartridges.
Jeez.
Maybe not Pokemon Pinball. That. What am I thinking of? Kirby. Maybe it's a Kirby game.
Man, I didn't have any of that shit. I just had the gray brick of a Game Boy, and everyone else had the cool new ones, and I was always a sad boy.
No,
but I was excited to have it.
You didn't have the Game Boy. You had the sad boy. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Might as well have been a sad boy.
Kirby's Tilt and Tumble. That's what I'm thinking of. Yes.
Ooh,
Kirby's Tilt and Tumble. You it must have had a gyroscope in the cart because you physically had to like tip the Game Boy to make Kirby roll around. I remember Tilt and Tumble being dope.
That's crazy. I didn't realize they had that back then.
Gonna name my Harvest Moon character Poop.
Oh, you can't do that. All right. Doesn't the
Poop?
Isn't Harvest Moon? Doesn't the name affect the stats or something?
I don't know. Does it?
Or like
that sounds amazing.
The game or something based on which characters you. Maybe I'm making that up.
Am I a male or a female?
It's 2019. They can't ask you that.
Oh, damn it. Okay, well I'm gonna say question mark.
What?
Cat. I'm picking a cat. Oh, my cat's name is going to be shit. So I'm Poop and my cat's name is shit.
None of this is okay.
This is the podcast.
Well, let me do this. Yeah, it's me. Welcome to Let's Play of Harvest Moon.
Audio.
And see.
Dan, where are you going now? What's happening in the game?
Describe it to us.
See, there's an angel that says, "Poop, wake up, Poop."
Oh no. What else other than Harvest Moon? I can sort of see it actually.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
What else other than Harvest Moon have you been up to, Daniel? Video games?
Gaming wise?
Or, just whatever you want to bring up.
Life. I just started working customer service at the job, working at the grocery store, was cashiering for a bit, and now I'm behind the desk. Big man doing the wire transfers and giving out the lotto tickets.
How you doing?
The wire transfers. I'm like, hold on.
It's a lot of visual gags on. Make sure you tune into the stream, the video of this podcast.
Exactly. So doing that today was my first day training for that. It brought back some good and bad memories, just because when you're cashiering, you typically, more often than not, the experiences are all good. It's just customers coming through wanting to get their groceries and whatever. Every now and again, you'll get that curmudgeon-y old person or somebody who's just like, I couldn't find what I wanted to find or whatever. At the front desk, you're getting those people who are just already fed up, and they're either returning something or they can't find something and they're upset, or they want to talk to you about policy changes store corporation wide, where it's just like, I don't like how this store or these stores do this.
It surprises me, you know. I forget that these people exist. I know they exist, but I forget that they exist to the extent that they're like, you guys changed this policy in this store and I don't like it. What are you going to do about it? Like,
well,
what the fuck do you think I'm going to do about it? Like,
let me, Mr. Safeway, personally apologize to you for the changes that I made at all of our stores.
I get customers who complain about the change of the layout. Apparently, they change the layout every so often. It's like, I knew where everything was, and now I don't know where any. And apparently, it happens pretty often.
That I can sympathize with. Fuck grocery stores and changing their layout all the time.
Oh, now you're the old curmudgeon-y person.
I get it, though.
The milk used to be by the door.
The bread aisle was here. I had a system. I zigzagged this way, and I produce. Now it's a fucking blah. Is this madness?
Where is Lady Guinan?
Okay.
Tell me where she is. She is the store manager. So yeah, just dealing with those peeps, and I had some guy, he was returning, he ate this entire bucket of fried chicken, and he said once he got to the end of it, it was kind of off and he ended up throwing up. But then he also had, he was trying to return it, get a refund on it, and then he had an entire bag of chips, which when he got towards the end, he found a black speck in it, which might have been a bug or something. So he wanted to return that and get a refund for that. Then he also had more than a half-eaten sub. So he just had a whole eaten meal that he wanted a refund for.
A banana peel also. This gave me diarrhea. I'd like to get that back.
A whole bucket of chicken, half a sub, and a bag of chips.
More than half a sub.
And then he threw up and thought it was the chicken.
For it all.
Did you guys tell him probably to go fuck off in not so many words?
It was my first time. So
did you give him money back?
I gave him money back.
Oh my
that works?
God.
Somebody's looking
on me because the manager who was training me walked away, and I was like, this is probably bullshit, but like, whatever. The guy, no, he didn't get the money back for the sub. He just got money back on the chips and the bucket of chicken.
Should have locked eyes with him. Taking a piece of that chicken and just taking a bite.
Yeah.
Very far to me.
And then you're like, and even if it is off, you're just like,
yeah. At the second he walks away.
Oh gosh. Then he told me about how I have it good at being at such a nice store, and he used to work at a low income area that got robbed, and he got beat up, and he just had this whole, it was weird. So you get those people who just want to hang around and talk to you, on top of getting their money back for whatever meal they bought.
Oh yeah, people robbed in the area that he used to work and live. Sounds like he picked up some of those traits. Robbed you, Daniel.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. It was a whole thing. So
it's a big score. A bucket of chicken.
half a sub.
Like, maybe he did get sick after eating the chicken. I don't know, but it was just very suspect the way he went about the entire thing. And
sir,
still eating it. There's something wrong with this. Look,
yeah. See, and then he throws up himself. Like, see, that's not normal. So yeah, got that going on.
Customer service jobs sound like a nightmare. An absolute. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yep.
I would not. For one, I'd just be like, sir, this is so stupid. You are so stupid. What?
It is tough to not.
I quit.
Look. I like making people happy. I like, I do like serving people, and I like having those interactions when it is nice. When you get those people who actually like show gratitude for you helping them out, whether it's big or small,
solving their problem or whatever it is. Because even way back when I worked at Home Depot, I loved working as like a sales rep in the garden department, like helping people figure out what they needed for like their grass or whatever they needed, and they had like an issue, solved it for them. That was great. I did not like being a cashier, because there was nothing I could do. You get all of the problems, and you're shackled to that cashier station.
Yeah.
And that's no good. I don't like that. And plus you have to check in with someone else before you go pee, which I was able to just freely go do. That one fucks with me. Like,
well, yeah, for you in particular, it'd be a real tough one.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Listen,
tiny bladder.
when I'm slamming beers at my cashier station, all right, I need to be able to go pee freely.
All that liquid coming through. Yeah. So, excuse me, Max, can you just stop? Like, we've been watching you and we saw you have this open beer just on your register. You're just like, you don't know me. No. Get out of my face.
No, I just poured water in there. It's just
a lot of guys have to pee this much.
It's
Shut
insulated.
up.
It's not beer. It's just, I like the can. It insulates. It keeps it cool.
Coffee cup, dark beer.
Let me smell. No,
you can't.
My only friend.
It's the coffee. Believe me.
I had a teacher one time ask if he could smell my, it was just a Diet Coke in a bottle, ask if he could smell my Diet Coke. I was like, sure, and he did. It was the only time I've ever seen it happen was to me in high school.
Hey, I've never had that happen ever in my life. I guess in school it kind of makes sense because I knew one or two kids that brought booze into school.
I don't think I ever went to school. Like even when I was in college for a little bit there, like I don't think I went to
school.
Did I go to school?
So long ago.
No, I don't think I ever thought that doesn't sound like fun going to school drunk because you're there, you're at school, like unless you're just wandering the halls. But in either case, college is different though, because college is like, if you want to do something stupid and you want to be fucked up at college, you can, but like the only one suffering is you and no one gives a shit. Like,
we had a bar on our college campus. We had a bar and restaurant. And in radio and television, we would go and get plastered. I mean, I didn't do it that often because I am #there to learn.
That sounds good though.
But yeah, fun. You'd go and as long as you're not like drunk, nobody would say anything. Sometimes people got way too drunk and it was a big deal. But then in electrical, with same college for electrical.
That doesn't sound safe at all.
No, well, you're just doing like paper studying when you're at school. You're not like working tools or anything. They were like they had to like babysit kids. It was like zero tolerance policy. The inspector would walk around and it could be like, "Let me smell your breath." It was crazy in a way that like it was like babysitting. Like we're all adults. If I want to waste my $10,000 for school, you should let me. Not that I'm doing that, but you should let anybody who wants to just waste their money.
Yeah.
But I got very drunk a couple days in electrical school and then just went to sleep. It was a good time.
As long as nobody's electrocuting themselves,
no,
you should be able to do
nobody gets electrocuted. You don't even work with power in school, which is really smart because then you get out in the world and work with power for the first time and just blow yourself up usually once or twice. Everybody's got one or two.
You need to, or 10. You really need to. You gotta experience it firsthand to know. Oh, that shit's real.
Oh yeah.
I'm never gonna let that happen again.
Respect it. This is the last time this will happen. You tell yourself 150 times.
How many times do you electrocute yourself when you work in the trade there?
I shocked myself. I think electrocution is to death, but I shocked myself.
Yeah, I mean, like shock.
Dude, more than you can count. Once a day sometimes, because you eventually just get lazy and you're like, it hurts. Like, real talk. Getting even a little shocked can like really fuck you up, like cause strokes and all sorts of terrible things. But when you're there and everyone's just like, we need this done yesterday, go faster. You're just like, I'm just gonna do it live, and as long as I don't blow up my $80 pliers, that's all I care about. Oh, that hurt a little bit. No, I'll just get back to it. Oh, that hurt a little bit. Like it's not bad. I've got some bad ones.
What's the difference between, and this may sound stupid, electrocution and being shocked?
I think electrocution is until you die.
It's like execution.
Yeah. Is that literally like that's the okay?
Yeah, cution is.
Yeah, I guess. I never really thought of it. Like, I didn't realize that was just that part of the word.
Maybe
it meant till death. For some reason, I always thought that electrocution was like another way of like being, shocked or whatever.
Sexecution would be sex to death.
Oh, I think that's called death by snoo.
Well, yes, in primitive times, yeah. Everyone respect electricity. I feel bad saying that because don't get shocked; it'll fuck you up. And there's lots of different types of power and things where
it's been a while since I've been shocked too.
Have you been shocked?
It's weird too because you don't obviously you don't expect it, but when it happens, you're like, oh shit, right? That's a thing. Because otherwise, it's just like this magical shit that just powers all of our stuff. It just works, and then you get shocked.
EADS. What's the science behind this? I have now that we're on the electrician questions.
Ask me anything about science.
I had a coax cable that connected to my.
Okay, we don't deal with coax, but carry on.
Yeah, okay, connected to my cable box.
Okay.
And then I was screwing it into the cable connection in the wall, and I got shocked every single time I screwed it. I kept shocking me.
That
shouldn't. I was like, what is going on with this?
Something bad is happening in that house.
It's fucked up with that cable, I would imagine.
That's like wiring. It shouldn't even coax doesn't really carry. It gives a little bit of power, but that's like that'd be like if you turned your tap on and got shocked from your tap. Like something is.
I've done that before. That's
a big problem.
In Colorado, it was more so I think it was like I would get shocked by touching anything in Colorado because of the dry air and all that stuff.
Static shock is a lot different than.
But yeah, I'm not getting electric. Yeah, I'm not getting like a good zap from the water. It's just I feel like I'm getting that little snap.
I remember that. In Colorado. Fucking static shock all the time.
Yes.
All the time.
I fucked up my UX2 a fair bit by just touching my mic stand because it would like restart my UX2 and be
they were like formidable shocks too. It wasn't like that little it was like, ow, fuck. Like god damn.
You'd have to ground yourself like whenever. I have a metal garbage can, so I would always just like knuckle that whenever I would get up off the couch.
Also, Eads, this is our podcast about Colorado now. Just butt out, okay?
What's the metal garbage can sitting on? I'm here to contribute about the Colorado podcast.
Probably linoleum tile.
Oh, you're grounding yourself to something that isn't even grounded. What are you even doing?
Carpet. Not good.
You should touch the screw in the middle of your electrical plate. You know, your outlet has the little screw. You can just touch that. Should be bonded.
I've been watching. Have either of you watched Better Call Saul?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No. Okay, well, Liz and I just finished season 3, but the whole thing is like, this isn't a spoiler or anything. This is like first episode. Saul's brother has this like sensitivity to electricity, and outside his house, he has this grounding wire or whatever. Like he has a thing that you just tap and it grounds you, and then you go into the house and like he has that way you have no electricity on you or whatever. And I was wondering how that exactly worked because it looked like it was wired up, and I guess that's just the same thing like I was trying to do with my garbage can, but couldn't quite.
Yeah. It's just a ground is literally a big piece of wire in the ground. It is just buried in the earth, and the electricity discharges into the earth. It's electricity's stupid. Like, well, it's too smart. It's too smart for me. It makes no sense. It is not this flowing. It's not like water. It is not like anything. It is a very confusing thing.
Yeah.
Downright magical. Look at all the stuff we can do with it. This podcast brought to you by electricity.
And Squarespace.com.
That's right. Use code EAD. No. Video games, Daniel.
Yeah, that's what
games. We're a customer service job.
Then we're talking about electricity and getting shocked.
Colorado's very dry.
Yes.
Colorado very dry.
No humidity.
Podcast. Dan shocked himself with a faucet, apparently.
It happens. Video games. Oh gosh, I've been playing like new games, Outer Worlds. I've been playing. I'm only like 4-ish, 5-ish. Well, no,
Talk
more
to me
than
about Outer Worlds. We mentioned you. I think we talked a little bit about it. I was in your chat and you were talking a little bit about it.
Oh yeah, you said you said like, hey, but I don't think you replied after that, or maybe you did. I can't remember.
I don't know. It sounds. I'm a garbage person.
I think you were. No, you were tired. I think you were tired that day.
Yeah,
either way,
after. Yeah.
I'm enjoying it a fair bit. It's very Fallout meets Eads. Have you been playing it too?
I'm up to like I've only played a few hours. I made it right to the very first choice, and then I saved and stopped. I haven't made the first choice yet.
This is too much for me.
It was too much. I couldn't do it.
First choice.
I'm choosing to. I'm routing power to either the town or these like
all the
outsiders.
side stuff for that.
Edgewater.
I'm in Edgewater as well, and I'm kind of tiptoeing around that. I'm just doing all the side stuff I can before I really make the big decision. But yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. It is kind of like everybody who's come through my chat has all been like, it's like Fallout, or it's like Fallout meets Subnautica meets a million other things.
Mass Effect. Subnautica.
Borderlands. Yeah, somebody said Subnautica.
Firefly.
Definitely Firefly. I didn't notice that until Max had tweeted like playing more Firefly Simulator, whatever the hell you had said, and I was like,
it's not 100% it, but it essentially they definitely took heavy inspiration for a lot of different stuff for it. Yeah, and you only realize it if you
look it and
know Firefly fairly intimately, and then you're like, oh fuck, this looks like this, and these characters are totally like inspired from these different characters from the show. So
yeah. Oh yeah, Parvati is a lot like Kaylee to me.
Barney's Kaylee. The Vicar is more or less Book.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
in a different kind of package.
She kind of is a super like Kaylee, isn't she?
Yep. And the Vicar's what? He served time in penitentiary and also has fighting ability.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Book.
Oh shit! It's all coming together.
The ships look like the Serenity, like the way the engines work and stuff.
The same.
You look in the kitchen, in the mess hall area. It looks exactly like it. Totally.
Yeah, Hawthorne's ship, the cargo bay has the drop down back thing. Like it looks like the cargo bay from Firefly.
Just wait. Eventually, you'll.
There's more
cargo.
Oh yeah. Is it cows?
No.
He's making a face. He's making a face.
You get cows eventually, and you're like, "Oh, come on!"
That's pretty good. Well, I mean, it's pretty. It's
not a huge thing. It's really not a huge thing. It's just like, "Oh, look at that!" And then the cows
seems like it's making, it's making a bunch of references to that. But it's also doing its own thing, and I like a lot of the little things about it. And I'm really enjoying it. It is a lot of. I would say a lot of the game for me has been just talking to people. I've done some combat stuff, but I've spent a lot of time in the dialogue trees and trying to talk to people like the lady bartender in Edgewater, who's just like, yep, I'm born and live to serve here forever. And I'm just like, don't you want to go out? And she's like, well, I thought about it once. And I'm like trying to talk her into like leaving the bar. And she's like, well, you don't want to don't let people hear you talk about that around here. Like they don't take kindly to that. I'm like, no, come with me. I wanted you to be a scientist.
You're talking about like Hope and the New Hope or whatever the fuck the the ship is called. Yeah.
So I'm really enjoying it. It seems really well made for the most part.
Seems very polished, I guess. It doesn't have that typical Fallout jank that you maybe associate with those games, which is super refreshing. Super refreshing.
Sure. Well, you had mentioned when we were talking like a week or so ago about it. You were talking about how it's like once Obsidian got freed from that like Bethesda engine, like it kind of shows what they can really do because they've been working in that old ass engine for so long. But I guess that was back earlier in the days. Obsidian last worked on New Vegas for them, right?
They did. Was that their last project before?
I don't know. Believe me, I am no expert. That's why I'm deferring to you.
On it. I'm looking it up as this is a fact-based podcast.
I really loved New Vegas, and obviously that's a lot of community stuff that made that game a bit more workable and playable. But that game is so amazing.
Oh, they did stuff is Stick of Truth.
What?
South Park.
Obsidian?
And they must have published it.
I don't know if Obsidian made Stick of Truth.
Yeah,
I never beat Stick of Truth, and I never played the second one.
Don't know. Just over here on the old Wiki. Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah, published by Ubisoft, developed by Obsidian.
Oh wow,
crazy! I did not know that.
Pillars of Eternity, which is also one of my favorite games. I feel embarrassed for forgetting that. Skyforge, I never played. Pathfinder Adventures, that wasn't really.
I like
they did Obsidian, or I knew they did Pillars.
Tyranny, which I also really, really love, and then the Outer Worlds. They've been busy since. When was New Vegas? 2010.
Well, good for them, you know, for not being like a New Vegas one-trickish pony. That I know they did stuff before then, but.
I mean, weren't they like the kind of the people behind Fallout? I want to say
they did. They did Knights of the Old Republic 2, which was not good, not well made at all. There's a whole story behind that, where it shipped half finished without an ending and all this. But they did also do Neverwinter Nights 2, which was like super well received and a favorite of mine. And then Alpha Protocol, which again, not a great game. That was that was like Mass Effect, but you were a spy. You were like James Bond. There's like dialogue choices and
Bourne-y kind of Jason Bourne sort of deal.
I think it opened.
I remember that.
I think the opening scene, if I'm remembering correctly, had boobs. Seems like something I'd remember. I think it might have.
Opening scene had boobs.
I think the opening scene had boobs.
Boobs.
Just to give you a sense of what they were going for.
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta lead him by the dick, as they say.
That's what they say.
Yep. That is what they say. I've noticed that with a lot of TV shows, particularly like HBO ones and stuff. Like, there's always nudity in the first episode a lot of the time, or it depends on the show, or even Netflix shows on occasion. And then there won't be any for a bit.
Yeah, especially things like, HBO does that a lot, and they did that a lot before too. Especially when HBO was like the big deal. It's like, television, but like mature and stuff. We can have sex and say fuck, shit, piss, ass, balls. You know,
not balls.
He said balls.
They can't. Wow.
But yeah, I mean, now that kind of translates a little bit. I think Netflix has kind of pumped the brakes a little bit on that, like in terms of, but they still have that ability. I think that's just more commonplace now. So you're not as like, it's more when they have like excessive, nudity or cursing. You're like, oh shit. You're like, oh well, yeah, I guess it's Netflix. It's the internet, right? The fact that internet TV is a thing allows a lot of things to be able to be open creatively,
totally,
and with like vulgarity and all that kind of stuff.
Video games approach nudity well. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes you get the Mass Effect 3 like weird space undies that nobody wears until they're having sex, apparently. But like the original Mass Effects did it pretty well. Tasteful nudity. You know?
So did Andromeda.
All I can think of. Did Andromeda have a romance scene? Was there nudity in Andromeda?
I don't know. I never played far enough to find out.
Romance. I finished that game. Andromeda romance scene.
I mean, I figured you would remember Mr. Eads, considering you remember the boobs in the beginning of Alpha Protocol.
Well, I mean, I love Alpha Protocol. Right? I'm not there for the boobs. I'm there for the Alpha Protocol.
Okay.
It just so happens. Apparently, Alpha Protocol did not open with boobs, but they were in there. But they were in there. All right, you just have to find them. No, they're here.
You have to go through either the beta or Zeta protocol.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Mass Effect did a good job, though, I think.
Yeah, Mass Effect 1 and like
and stuff.
I think by Dragon Age they were back to undies because people like when Mass Effect 1 came out, it was like it was a big,
literally, like that was like
thing.
the whole Fox News and everything like that. What is this? The sex box? Like
so stupid. It's like you see like a little bit of side boob, and that's it. You see a bum.
It was more restrained than most of the shit that they ever showed, like concerning adult sex scenes or whatever in most television shows. Like it was more tasteful than that and more reserved. But it was like, and they're teaching your kids how to have sex, and there's different sex positions. They're using the Kama Sutra, but space-like.
I guess people just look at video games are for kids. They're for kids playing these games. Like, I guess parents, it comes down to the parent level. Like, parents shouldn't be buying kids rated M games either way, but it happens no matter what.
But even then too, like if it was my kid that was playing Mass Effect at the time or whatever, I'd be like, I don't know if you should be seeing that, but I wouldn't be like, look away, honey, look away. It's like you're seeing like a butt, like it's like the side of a butt.
Eyes.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but that's just me. I would raise my kids all crazy, and then I'd be like, look away from that television. Here, now shotgun this beer with me.
Let's go. Take this M4 in Call of Duty. Let's murder these Russians.
We're going to forget about all these sexy things you just saw. We the hangover blackout.
I had a friend who his dad or his grandfather hooked him up with O'Doul's when he was a kid.
Non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah.
So he was like ready for beer when it came around to
that seems like you're
being
just trained an alcoholic.
Yeah, shit.
Well, that's what I thought too. It was
like in his sippy bottle when he was a fucking baby.
You gotta learn to like the taste, boy. Drink it.
Just hops and water.
Witcher 1 had sex collecting cards. That's true. That's very true. Witcher, though, is... Listen, those Europeans... Oh, they're wild over there.
God of War had a effing mini game around.
Yeah,
sex at the beginning of one of those games.
So God of War, I think, was like totally on the side of way too far for me. The God of War sex mini games are so fucking stupid.
I actually don't. I never played like any of those. Are you just seeing full on nudity while they're gamifying having sex, or what's happening?
You're like having a threesome or a foursome.
Yeah, it's usually a threesome with two ladies. You are seeing the ladies who are often naked. I think maybe totally naked. I don't remember. It's just tops or what. But they're like, oh, Kratos, it's so God of War used to be so fucking machismo and like very just the way that video games kind of were in those days.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very much like, oh, we need big, strong Kratos to come and show us what a real man can do. And then you were just pressing circle. It was a quick time event where if you did it well, you got a bunch of orbs. If you did it well, there was an explosion of orbs would cover you everywhere, head to toe. And you could do it a few times to get less orbs each time. And then eventually you couldn't do it anymore. Just like real life.
Fantastic.
But they were bad. There wasn't one in New God of War for a reason.
Yeah.
They were really stupid. They were just in there because tits sell games, honestly.
Right. Yeah, of course.
Like a lot of games back in the day.
Well, yeah, too, because like back then too, everybody that was more like, oh, did you do this sex game in God of War?
I mean, I talk a big game now, but like I was like 14 or 15 back then. I was the perfect age for like, yeah.
Is this how it is?
I'm mashing the shit out of this circle. Look, I got this quick time event done in 12 seconds.
My first time's gonna be with 2 chicks as well. Mm-hmm.
And last 12 seconds.
In retrospect, it really teaches you a lot of good lessons about life.
Yeah. Right.
I wonder how the nudity in Outer Worlds is.
Is there any? I don't know.
I don't know. I was just kind of bringing us back onto the tracks.
I haven't played long enough to know if there's
probably not.
Options. You would think there's probably some sort of romance options, but maybe they keep it. Maybe they keep the romance storylines within the NPCs. You know what I mean? And you just kind of like, give advice and such on different things. Because there's a little bit of that I played, but
is it romance in Fallout? I know you can get married in Elder Scrolls. It's not really what I would call romance.
Hey, Uthgard and I had a relationship, man.
Uthgard?
Uthgard's the lady in Whiterun.
That's a handsome woman's name.
Well, she is a handsome woman.
Strong.
Uthgard's the lady in the Whiterun pub where she's like
wants to fight you, right?
She wants to fight people. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got married to Uthgard,
and then later,
I won, and that made her respect me. And so she was like, "I respect a man who can, hold up a fight or whatever." And then she became my companion, and so long.
The rest is history.
Your name is Housecarl Lady Lydia. Gosh,
she wasn't carry your burdens.
Yeah, God, I'm sworn to carry your burden.
I get it, Lydia. I get it.
It could be worse. There could be a new settlement that needs help.
That's true. That's true.
Uthgard, we both carried each other's burdens through life. So
you just described a healthy relationship there, Daniel.
Oh yeah. Until she was like, I'm going to go back to the house. And although she started her own business and ran it out of our house. And then she just kept paying me the money afterwards. She was like, here are the profits from the business that I have.
Cheese wheels on Etsy or something? What?
Yeah. Skyrim Etsy. I don't know. But yeah, it eventually became a very one-sided relationship. She was just at home probably having sex with that guy who asks if I've ever been to the Cloud District recently. I don't know.
Have you been to the Cloud District recently?
Stop asking me.
I can't remember his name.
I'm not allowed
to. For you. It's supposed to be for your eyes only. Well, that's it. See you later.
He just runs off.
The best is when he gets like fucked up by any sort of like
dragon.
Yeah.
Who rode that man off the cliff?
I fucking love that game. I just realized too, since I'm on a new PC now, I have to remod it all.
Oh boy.
I had it all modded and good to go on my previous PC.
No.
It was working swimmingly. It wasn't that bad, honestly. I used like a light mod list of it. Where the fuck are video games? I mean, we're talking about video games.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very, like we always say, it's a fluid podcast. It moves.
Fluid.
It becomes.
Well, then in that case,
we draw the line wherever we need to.
I would advise any of you guys to, if you haven't touched Skyrim in a while, especially like modded, I have like a light mod list or whatever, where it's like makes everything look really good, gets rid of, helps with certain quality of life things, and makes the vegetation and skybox and everything, and variety of dragons. That's the one that's really exciting.
Is because you don't just have the edition, or is this?
It was special edition, yeah.
Okay,
but
cool.
Special edition was on sale not too long ago, so I don't know if any of you guys picked it up. It might. It comes through every now and then, but yeah, it was special edition. And the mods that it has for it is it's really, really cool. And returning back to that game, I love that. That game always has a special place in my heart. It was the first Elder Scrolls game that I really, really liked. I never played any of the other ones before then. One, for lack of having a PC good enough to play them. And two, I guess the lack of knowledge that they existed too. And then Skyrim came around, and so going back to it and kind of bringing it closer to our modern kind of games. And cleaning up some of the clutter, it's really, really fun. So I'll probably go back to that soon.
And the mod scene for Skyrim is like maybe the most active mod scene for any game in the world.
Yeah, I mean, even
probably
now,
like is. GTA 5.
I don't know, man. I think it'd be close between GTA and Skyrim.
Skyrim has, no, you are absolutely correct. I'm just saying GTA 5 is probably behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can make it like it is very cool. I started replaying Skyrim as well, like I don't know, a year ago or whatever. And
I didn't know you had that. That's cool.
What's that? Oh, we just got
Got the
the
Imperial symbol.
I love that logo. Yeah, the Imperial symbol is a really cool logo and piece of art from the game.
Imperial
I only have a
symbol,
couple
huh?
customers that come through and actually understand that.
Symbol of oppression in Skyrim.
It is true, but it's the Skyrim.
The Skyrim
logo.
swastika. Dan has the Skyrim swastika tattooed on his Skyrim.
Hey, I got this after I killed the Emperor, you son of a bitch.
No Khajiit, you feel me?
Listen, the
Skyrim
Lords are
belongs
going
to
to
the
get in
Lords.
line eventually.
They're all high on moon sugar
It's a matter
anyways.
of time.
Skooma.
Skooma. I mean, if you're
General Tullius!
if you're lucky, it's skooma.
That's true.
Poor folks just get the moon sugar.
Mm.
Outer Worlds. Hell of a game. I'm looking forward to putting more time in.
Absolutely.
Ashley Birch is that first companion, and she has one read. And
Yeah.
like, oh, hey, it's Aloy, or Chloe, or
Yeah.
every character.
It was somebody else for some reason, and then people told me it was Ashley Birch. I was like, oh shit.
I will say, yeah, when I saw you realize that, because I think you
I thought it was Clementine.
Mm.
You were streaming it? Were you
Yep,
streaming
yep,
it?
up to the
Yeah,
first.
you were streaming it, and I was watching it, and I saw you go through the realization of that it was Ashley Birch. And I'm curious to think what you think. Like, are you having a little bit of voice fatigue with in a lot of different stuff? Because
Yeah.
I feel like I am a little
I am.
bit. She's not a bad voice actress.
No.
She does very good.
And she plays
But
some
I've
of my
just heard
favorite
her.
characters, like Chloe
I've
from
heard her in so many fucking things.
Chloe
I'm
from
just
Life
like,
is
yep.
Strange, and
Ashley Birch.
Yeah.
Ashley Birch.
she always gives a great performance. It's so hard not to sound like I'm just shit talking her, but she does like they just always want that
Not
one
at
read
all.
from her, and you're like,
Not at
oh,
all.
I recognize it. Suddenly it doesn't sound like what's her name, Pavardi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suddenly it's not
just-
Pavardi. I'm
suddenly
like,
it
oh, it's
sounds
Chloe
like-
from Life is Strange. Huh.
Yeah.
I don't want to offend Chloe from Life is Strange, so
Which is great for her, you know, because I remember watching her back with the Hey Ash, what you playing, like you were saying, and I could see her, you know, have this journey from doing that kind of stuff, skits and whatever, and wanting to do voice work to getting actual big roles, and then all of a sudden getting recognition for it, and then now she's in kind of everything. So it's this weird thing. I'm like happy for her in the sense that it's somebody who's realizing their dreams and they're having a lot of success for it. But also, I hear you in everything, and there's not enough variation in your delivery for these characters. Where I'm like, and maybe that's not a problem for most gamers because they don't play all these other games. Maybe, you know,
or maybe it's the voice director. Maybe she's always coming in and is like, I thought I'd do a crazy accent this time, and they're like, no, we just
really just loved you. And
She's doing Southern.
Yeah,
we don't
can we
like
do
a
that?
Southern
a
accent in,
little
Worlds.
bit. It's a little.
Yeah,
It's very,
a little
very
twinge,
Yeah, a
subtle.
little twinge, right?
Very, very subtle. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to know if it, or maybe she only has kind of the one read. Maybe she doesn't have
It's got
a
a great
huge
voice,
range or
and-
whatever.
And she's doing a good job. And as far as the delivery and stuff, it's just one of those things where it becomes like a Nolan North thing. It's like, well, it's Nolan North. Although Nolan North,
He
change
sounds
it
like
up
Nolan
if he
North
wants
most of the
to.
time.
He
Outside of
plays the Penguin. He's got great range.
That's what I'm saying. That's the only one where like the Penguin is the only voice where I hear it where it doesn't sound like Nolan North though. Like almost all of his other roles just sound like him for the most part. He is doing different things, but like Penguin's the only reach I really hear. Troy Baker's the only one who I've actually been able to like not detect in some of his roles where it's like, oh shit, that's Troy Baker. Like,
And then there's fake Troy Baker. Whatever I gotta look up the name from
Faker.
Troy Faker. Dying Light.
well,
The
I also-
Dying Light main character. I'm like, oh, that's Troy Baker. And everyone's like, no, this is not. This is someone who sounds exactly like him.
I also feel like that has just kind of become a voice type that a lot of people are emulating, and they're hiring that because they want that type of thing. You're just like, hey, how's it going? Oh, okay, sure. You know, like that kind of thing.
Roger Craig Smith.
Roger
AKA
Craig Smith.
Troy Faker.
Also Batman.
Oh, and Troy Baker Batman.
in,
Yeah, wow.
in Telltale Batman game, and Roger Craig Smith is Batman in Arkham Origins,
Mm-hmm.
and apparently the new one coming out potentially from Warner Brothers Montreal, because Kevin Conroy said he's not coming back.
What?
He's like, they got somebody else. Well, they worked with Roger Craig Smith in Arkham Origins, so it makes sense if they were still maybe doing a prequel thing. I don't even know what the hell.
Kevin
Who knows?
Conroy has had a long run. Maybe he's just like, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm good.
He's been really trying. Hey, he tweets at Rocksteady every month saying, "Hey, let's get a new game going." Like he really wants to do more, and he's
Well,
still
then
been
never
doing the
mind.
voice in cartoons and stuff. So
What are they just giving him the big fuck you? We're not paying you this money kind of thing.
Rocksteady's they're working on a different game now. They're doing their own thing. They've been developing it for the last few years since Arkham Knight. So
More like for Kevin Conroy.
I wish.
Unsteady paycheck, that is.
Was Rocksteady Court of Owls? No, that was WB, right? It's supposed to be working on the Court of Owls?
Yeah, supposedly. Yeah, but they've been teasing it for sure. It's just there's been nothing official out of them outside of them putting out that symbol tease thing, and there hasn't been anything else. There's been a lot of kind of leaks or whatever. Supposedly it's going to be called Arkham Legacy, and it will be focusing on the Bat family as all as playable characters. So who knows? Those are the rumors for now.
Do you think when Kevin Conroy says he's not Batman was like when Mark Hamill said he wasn't Joker in Arkham Knight, and that Joker wasn't in Arkham Knight, and then Joker wasn't all up in Arkham Knight?
When Arkham Origins, right before that came out, or well, even before that was like not super official, but like Kevin Conroy was like, "Oh, I'm not going to be in that one, but I'm going to be in the other one," and that was before they even announced Arkham Knight.
Whoops.
and so everybody was like, "Oh, so there's going to be another Rocksteady Batman game." Okay, so he's not the most subtle of like. He's not good at keeping secrets, it seems. He's like the Mark Ruffalo.
Listen,
Tom
he's
Holland
an older gentleman, okay?
Ironic for a Batman who can't keep secrets.
It's true. I've met the man. He's got some wrinkles.
I'll be in the other one. Wait, what? Oh, it's not announced. Okay.
Sorry about that. But no, yeah, Kevin Conroy, he is great. I would love him to be in another Batman game, but I mean, it takes years to produce those things, and I really would only.
Hamill.
Oh God, again.
Yes.
Oh God.
Yes, as many times as you can.
The last thing he did was The Killing Joke, and I've heard that's pretty good, except for they added like a half-hour like prologue to that doesn't need to be in there, where Batman has sex with Batgirl. And
is that where you see Batman's dick, or is that something different?
No, the Batman's
thing was
that's
the mod.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, so the Batman stick thing was a comic. DC was putting out this thing called Black Label, and that was in the first issue, and then they completely got gun shy about it and removed it from circulation and censored it every issue moving forward and digitally. So it only was in those physical copies, which is bullshit. Just show Batman's dick. Don't be cowards.
It's just the dick.
Dick. But whatever.
Show it.
And the whole idea was it was supposed to be more of an adult label anyway. That was the whole point of it. So I don't get it.
Give the adults what they want.
Yeah.
Dicks.
I'm quite famous for my bank of dicks that I keep in my brain.
Ooh. In your
I've
mind
seen
palace.
Tom Hardy's dick. I've seen Ben Affleck's dick. Yep.
Oh, I've seen Tom Hardy's dick also.
I've seen Daniel Craig's dick.
Is it in Bronson? Is that where you see?
I haven't seen either of them.
Yeah, Tom Hardy's dick you see in Bronson. Oh, yeah.
I've seen Bronson. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You see plenty of Tom Hardy dick.
Big time.
Oh, yes.
You know, it's just like it's the cinematic dicks.
Tom Hardy. You know what I'm saying?
He was not quite Hardy in that. Tom
More like
Softy
Tom Softy. Yeah, I was going to say.
He'll always be.
I'm just here for the low-hanging fruit, right? Because sometimes fruit is
one more. There's one
penis
more.
and testicles.
I was trying to think of one more, but I couldn't. He'll always be Shinzon to me.
Okay, you lost me. You lost me on Shinzon.
That was for Max mainly. It's Star Trek reference.
Oh, that's
Shinzon. I know what you're talking about. Well, that was kind of one of his bigger early roles,
that
right?
Was his first
that was his
role.
big
that was
one.
His first American role. He was just in Australian things up to that
Yeah.
point.
What are we talking about right now?
Star Trek Nemesis.
Nemesis.
The final of the TNG movies.
Tom Hardy. We're talking about Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy was the bad guy.
Yeah. I'm with you now.
Yeah, he was the bad guy.
Directed by Stuart Bayard, editor of the original Superman movie, uncredited.
I haven't seen Nemesis in quite a long time. Does it hold up at all? I remember it being pretty decent.
I'm one of those people who like that movie. Amongst Star Trek fans, they don't like it.
I liked it. I liked it when I saw it as a younger lad, but I also I also thought Insurrection wasn't bad when I watched it when I thing is dog trash.
Insurrection's watchable.
It's fucking horrible, Dan. It's awful.
Anyway.
Nothing makes sense. And the budget is shit compared to First Contact. Like absolute shit.
No. They had a bigger budget. That was the largest budget Star Trek of the Next Generation movies was Insurrection.
Did they really?
The budget was larger.
That's even worse.
It looks amazing. The effects look great. What are you talking about?
For Insurrection?
The Briar Patch stuff, when they're flying around the ships, like that all looks great. What are you talking about?
Oh.
The joystick looks stupid when it comes out of the console and Riker's flying around the ship with a joystick that they bought at a Radio Shack.
We're talking about Insurrection, right? Stretchy face McGee in that, right?
Yeah.
If you watch the end part of Insurrection, you realize that part of the end part,
that ship,
it's all fucking blue screen that they never even use. The background is literally blue screen. You can tell was probably meant to have, neat background stuff, keyed in and all that shit. And they took it out. It's just fucking blue screen in the background. That's all it is in the background. It's garbage. It's a dog fire.
Anyway, the actual finished special effects look awesome. But that's
jump in here.
I like the part where Picard he's got like a braid or something he's wearing, which it kind of looks like hair, but it's not. It's like a kind of a ceremonial. I don't even know what it is.
The floral arrangements.
That's in the very beginning. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'm just looking at it as an adult now, right?
Yeah.
And looking at it compared to First Contact, it's fucking trash. It's horrible. It's a Star Trek movie.
We should rewatch them. We should rewatch them all. On the way to Picard.
I like them all.
I would rewatch even Insurrection, and then I would love to discuss it.
Insurrection.
Man.
Even Insurrection. Star Trek movie podcast. Coming soon.
Star Trek FM.
Oh! Book it.
No, wait.
Write that down.
We're excited after
Write that down. That's a great name. It's a great name. Now we have to do it.
Oh, gosh. FM Federation Manifest.
Yeah, Star Trek Federation, maybe not manifest.
Also, you know what? I'll even say some of the writing in Insurrection not on for what you would expect of TNG in the pre. I have a lot of opinions about that movie.
Yeah.
Bad. And not enough time to unpack them now, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Outer Worlds?
Yeah,
great game. Okay, so what else have you been playing?
Let's stop looping back to that. Modern Warfare. I played the first couple hours of that. Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Yeah, that campaign runs like real fucking shit on PC.
Yeah, well, that's what made it. I'm playing it on PC, and I got maybe an hour and a half, an hour and a half in, like an hour and 20 minutes in, and I was like, I can't play this anymore. I'll have to wait until they fix it because I'm tired of the cutscenes freezing up and then getting desynced, and I can't.
Bad, man.
It's so distracting and it really bothers me. So I got to the point where we did the aerial gun part and then I was done. I stopped after that. But was enjoying it. I mean, the cutscenes look amazing. They just don't run at all.
Something is like really, really broken with those cutscenes because they're all the pre-rendered cutscenes are the ones that run at like 5 frames a second if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it's so strange because it runs fine and then I have the FPS counter and stuff. Like I have some HUD elements on my screen. It runs fine and then it's like everything loads in and the FPS counter shows up and all the things show up and then it runs like total fucking shit.
Yeah.
Like those cutscenes are unwatchably bad on PC, which is a huge shame because they look really good.
Yeah.
And I did you finish that campaign, Max?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. We'll keep it spoiler free, obviously. It's still very new.
Yeah, we can be kind of vague about it, but yeah.
I really like the campaign, and it's a huge bummer that those cutscenes run so fucking bad.
Yeah, part of me wished I waited until, they patched that out because it would have just made the experience even better. That said, thankfully the gameplay overall wasn't affected. Once you get out of the cutscenes, everything's running great, looking great. But yeah, I mean, you can tell they put so much work and effort into those cutscenes and making them look as good, and even the lip syncing when it was on, because sometimes it is like okay. It's just a goddamn shame that most of the people that are playing it for the first time now are just like having a little bit of a bad taste in their mouth, a little bitter aftertaste because of those cutscenes.
Yeah, I really like that campaign. I think it is.
I'm fucking stoked too because it seems like now that they're all down to bring that shit back.
Can't wait for Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, now what is it?
They're doing some very cool stuff. I don't even really want to talk too much about specifics because it is fun to get in there and experience that stuff. If you like Modern Warfare, you will probably like this the original Modern Warfare. You will probably like this new one quite a bit.
campaign wise. How about multiplayer? Have you all been playing it at all?
Yeah, lots.
A little bit here and there. Yeah,
they just added night vision mode in today's patch, and I really fucking love it.
Yeah, I saw you playing that earlier, and I was like, "That's in there." That sounds really cool.
It seems like they change the playlists every week, maybe, or I don't know. But yeah, night vision mode is in, and I really really like it a lot. I have one closing thought on the campaign, and this is Brando, who is not on the podcast today. His review, which I'm totally stealing, and I agree with 100%. It is the most fun I've ever had in a Call of Duty campaign. It's probably my favorite Call of Duty campaign. I could not tell you the overarching story. Like 5 minutes after I finished it, I could not tell you. There's a brother and a sister. I don't know.
I know what happened.
Yeah, I loosely know. Every mission itself is super fun and enjoyable, but the connecting tissue. This seems a little. I can see. Yeah, a little weak.
I can see how that. Yeah, that would be like the take. I just was paying attention, I guess, a little bit more because I don't know. I just was.
Also, they're talking about finding gas, but the whole time I thought they were talking about finding Gaz. I'm like, oh fuck, we gotta go find Gaz, you guys. Gaz is here somewhere.
For you.
That's it's so good though. It's short. It's really short, under 5 hours.
100%. Okay with it being that short.
They could have.
That's great.
So there are some mission types they get into later where you're kind of just plopped into an open space and you have like 3 or 4 objectives around that you just kind of can do at your own pace and whatever order you choose in. Which were my favorite missions in the campaign. Super fun. Yeah. And I'm very surprised they didn't do just a few more of those. It seems like a very easy way to add a little bit more meat to that campaign. And I really enjoyed them. Like, I would love to do more of that.
Yeah.
They kind of just give you a little taste of everything in the campaign.
Kind of closer to the end, too, that they did that.
Yeah, I think that might be like the second or third last.
Yeah, second or third to last, yeah. That was neat. And it's neat, too, because those missions, like you said, I don't think it would have been too terribly hard for them to make more of those, because mostly, like, you're left to your own devices, and they just give you, like, an objective and a couple NPCs and wherever, that you might encounter.
Totally, and like, enough of it is.
But it highlights all of the hard work and stuff that they should be proud of, which is, like you said, that night vision stuff and sweeping through buildings and stuff. And it allows you to have the freedom to do it not so much on rails, which is really, really cool, especially playing around with like lighting, like shoot that light out. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There's a part, I agree with that. They could have done more of that.
There's also a part in the very beginning where the lights go out and you just use your flashlight. You don't have your night vision goggles. And you're like clearing this dark warehouse, which looks so amazing. Like, blew my fucking socks off when I saw it.
Again, though.
And they never, ever go back to it, which is I feel like just a missed opportunity in a way that makes me feel like they're going to do like some single player DLC or something down. Or maybe it's hidden in the Spec Ops or something.
I want to do those Spec Ops. I know you were saying that they were like super broken. Are they still reported to be super broken?
I think
whenever they're not, I want to do that. I want to get some people together and do that.
I want to do them too. I've not heard a single good thing about Spec Ops, unfortunately. It sounds like they're
performance-wise or
both,
because of is everything.
Both, yeah.
How many players are on that? Is it just 2 or 3?
Up to 4, I've heard.
Yes, okay. I think it's up to 4, and it sounds like most of them are kind of like horde mode, like defend the space against AI folks for a while, instead of the more like bespoke missions.
Modern Warfare 2 Spec Ops was my jam. I got 100% through all those on hardened or
those
whatever.
Yep.
Survival or whatever the fuck.
I think I remember playing those a long time ago with Jordan, with Kutra. I think I played those back then. And those were cool too, because you had the stealthy like moving together and you had to synchronize like, all right, ready? And that shit is so fun, especially if you're playing it on the stream, to role play it out and be like, all right, target's on the left. You take the left, I'll take the right, that kind of thing.
Yeah. You guys were recording it back then, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did. You can watch that if you wanted to. And go down memory lane.
They should do more of that, though. Even just to put like a big open dark map with a bunch of enemies and like a couple objectives to just walk over to.
Sweep through, and get the objective. That's totally fine.
And that fucking technical, that truck will always, it's like always right behind you. You're like, oh, fuck, there it is. That thing is so quiet and just appears. I hate that fucking technical so much. Really, really enjoyed the campaign. And I'm having a great time with the multiplayer. I really like this year's Call of Duty. I think it's very well done.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
It feels
even
feels
a little
weird
bit
to
of
say.
multiplayer that I've played. You know what's funny though is I feel like you've kind of ruined me as far as ever being any good at this small Call of Duty on keyboard and mouse, because we've played together and it's always controller, which I'm not complaining about now, but I came into it, I'm like, all right, let's do this keyboard mouse, and you're like, no, keyboard mouse, no.
Hear me out. On console, so if anyone doesn't know, Call of Duty has crossplay based on whatever input device you're using. Controllers play with controllers, be it on console or PC. Keyboards play with keyboards. People who play on console, less of them, most probably do, less of them are using headphones, true, and footsteps are like 99% of that multiplayer. I'll take every edge I can get. Also, a lot of kids, a lot of really bad kids who are bad at video games on the console. Also, a lot of kids who are really good, but it's a softer game on console, where old man Matt Eads can still get in there and you know, put on my shotgun and my claymores and. Well, we're posting up in this building.
You kids don't understand. I've been playing Call of Duty since 1902.
Even for me, I mean, it's like that's how I started playing Call of Duty. It's not that skill set's still there. It's like riding a bike. You know, you're a little rusty at first when you pick up the controller, but I think I came into the swing of things pretty easily once we got into it.
You should start using a shotgun. The shotgun turned my outlook on that game all the way around.
I used the shotgun. I can't remember. Days are blurring together lately. But it was either earlier today or yesterday.
Or a week ago.
Could have been a week ago. No, I think it was earlier today that I just jumped in for a couple games. And yeah, I think it was Gunrunner. And that was the map, for those who aren't familiar. And I used the shotgun. I had the, you know, the 2 gauge or whatever.
725.
Yeah, whatever. That one. And God, I was fucking destroying everyone from decent range away, too. Yeah. I was like, holy shit.
It's super fun. Super duper fun. After getting just decimated by it a few times, I've joined the dark side. Shotguns and claymores. My loadout has 3 fucking claymores in it, which is really fun.
That's too much.
Yeah.
That's too many.
Super fun, especially on the night vision goggles mode where you have 0 HUD, including minimap or like hit markers or anything. So you're constantly checking the score to be like, I might have got a claymore kill. Did I? Oh, I got a claymore kill at some point.
Is there friendly fire on the realism mode or no?
No. Okay. I don't think so.
I was gonna say, is it possible to run into like a friendly claymore and get fucked? Because that would drive me insane.
No. Also, you should put on that explosive jacket. Don't die to claymores.
I put it on all of my classes now. The EOD.
Absolute game changer.
I'm not dealing with just bare bones and against claymores. That's horrible. It's just a bad time.
The multiplayer feels different than I remember. It feels more like Counter-Strike than it used to. It's slower.
With the design of some maps.
Yeah. The maps seem like Counter-Strike, much smaller and like asymmetrical when you're flipping sides, just like you are in Counter-Strike.
Piccadilly literally is like a Counter-Strike map.
Yeah. That one with the office is a lot like a Counter-Strike map called Office. Hackney Yard. I really like it. I like it a lot. Not crazy about Team Deathmatch, interestingly enough, is maybe the mode I enjoy the least.
It's one I played. I've only played a couple rounds of it, and it was just people camping, and I run around a corner and die. And
you should play with us, and we'll do some objective modes, because those. I was with Eads. I was like, you know what? I usually am only like a Team Deathmatch person. I thought I was, anyways, with CODs. And since playing this one, I find myself enjoying like the cyber attack stuff, where you can like revive enemy or revive your teammates and stuff. Even search and destroy, which I used to be very intimidated about, because sometimes it's just you know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm like, I like the objectives more. Maybe I'm just getting older, and
they're fun with friends.
Yeah, I don't like the focus just being on nothing but kills, because maybe people are super sweaty with that, or it's just a different play style that I resonate with more, maybe.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. In summary, Call of Duty seems very good this year. I really hope they figure out that PC stuff. Which, having finished the campaign now, I sort of don't care, but those cutscenes are bad, man.
I've put it on pause until it's fixed, until I hear it's all good.
Do that. Yeah, you should do that. I would say it's not going anywhere. So wait until those things are patched, and then you'll be able to get the true enjoyment out of it. That said, though, I still had a great time, even though the cutscenes are there. It was just something that it was like looking at a really nice painting that somebody smudged Crisco all over. You know what I mean?
Boy, if I had a nickel for this every day of my life, almost.
Yeah.
Oh, Crisco again. Let me just...
God damn it.
Wipe this off my priceless artworks.
But price is in there. It's not priceless.
No.
Going silent. Danger close.
I never heard a single danger close. Not a one.
Yeah, just there was a check your corners.
Oh yes, many. There's a lot of Stay Frosties, a lot of Going Dark.
I heard no even spotted Go Loud ever.
Nope,
that didn't happen.
Nope, not once. I was the one who had to say it.
Yep.
Yeah. Sad day for Call of Duty. I totally hijacked your Call of Duty there, Daniel. Anything else you've been up to?
What this is a conversation.
It's a fluid podcast.
I'm sorry.
It goes.
It's my first day here. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, just get on it and try to stiff up a lip and all that. But let's see here. Outside of that, just a crap ton of Red Dead Redemption 2 in the off time. Max has ruined me.
PC version hasn't even come out yet.
I know he bought it for me on the Xbox, so we us three could posse up and play since I have it on the PlayStation, and I've just been blazing through that campaign. I'm in like Saint Denis and Chapter 4 right now. I just unlocked the Deadeye where you can just keep firing and not have to paint people. You can just fire while in Deadeye. My goodness, that game is just I'm watching it. I'm going through the entire thing right now just to compare it to when I go through on PC, just like the difference of how everything looks. Because I feel like you can see that fuzziness and I just have a regular Xbox One S and a regular PlayStation. So I've only played it on the kind of like not super souped up whatever versions of the current generation.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious to see how it'll run on my PC and how it'll look on my PC comparatively.
How old is your PC?
Oh gosh.
No, that's never a good answer.
I know. I have a what is it? GTX 1070. That's a decent card. So I imagine it'll run fine. It's more so I'm curious to see how, because GTA 5 runs really well, and I think Rockstar's, I almost said Rocksteady. Rockstar's pretty good at optimizing their games. And they've said it's a very scalable experience because they got the big outlets like IGN and GameSpot and all them. They give them a couple hours on the like super souped up PCs at Rockstar headquarters in London and in New York. And they were taking them through. They were like, you can play whatever mission you want, but we suggest these ones if you want to really kind of see how much it pushes the game. And supposedly like draw distance. You could see Saint Denis lights from like miles away in the game, and the draw distance is completely drastically different. You guys are getting getting sweaty right now. But like, and just like the improved weather system and stuff like that. Apparently, like you just see a storm coming in from far off, and it slowly rolls in. Like, I wouldn't want to go over there and go this way or whatever. And apparently, because my biggest thing when we were talking last time on the podcast about the PC version was
I know where this is going.
I was excited for potentially a Rockstar editor, but what they've announced only officially so far is a photo mode that is kind of akin to something like the Spider-Man.
Editor?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, well, here's the thing is,
I don't want it anymore. Get it away from me.
The photo mode is all they've announced officially. The rumor is the Rockstar editor is going to come out around the time it comes out on Steam, which is in December, because apparently it wasn't ready. But this is all rumors.
That's okay though. Yeah, I mean, if that is true,
it's true.
Rumor being though as it may.
His hands up.
Eads, what's up?
Hi, Matt Eads. Quick comment here. First time, long time. Somebody in our Discord linked a story, and this is from comicbook.com, which I can't verify, so take it with a grain of salt. According to
I have a friend who's going to work for that thing. Anyway, sorry.
Maybe I shouldn't shit talk them too loud. According to a new data mining leak, Red Dead 2 will apparently soon be adding the Rockstar editor.
Yeah. So that was the thing, was like they were working on it, but it wouldn't be ready for the PC.
This is a hot news story as of November the 1.
If it takes a little bit of time, it doesn't come out right away on release for PC. I'm okay with that as long
why
as
would they leave with that though? Like, I guess why don't you?
Because no one gives a shit about that except for us.
Yeah, it's probably like the money you get out of the money you have to put into that is you lose money on the editor, I think.
Okay. Well, it's already there though. Like if it's this similar engine to GTA or whatever, like I don't know if it's the exact same engine, obviously, but it's different engine tweaked or whatever the fuck. But they work within the editor doing those their own version. It's almost like the Unreal editor or something like that.
Right. It's their own system that they designed to make making cutscenes for things easier for them. Right?
Yeah. But either way, it's coming with a photo mode where it has all that stuff where you can affect exposure, and they have filters and they have depth of field and all that stuff. You can go up to like, I think 20 meters away from your character. It's bound to Arthur within a certain space, but Yeah, I'm excited for that because I love dicking around with the photo modes and Arkham Knight and Spider-Man and God of War a little bit and Left for Dead.
Photo modes and everything. Go ahead, do it.
Yeah,
There's no reason not to. Yeah. It only just creates, and especially too in this age of people sharing all their games, streaming their games, it makes it easier for content creators to make the thumbnails and make, the whole process easier. And it makes it easier for people to be like, oh, this awesome moment in this game that looks gorgeous. Let me share this on my Twitter or whatever the fuck. And then that's just additional advertising. Game. Exactly.
Yeah. Like free, high quality advertising.
Yeah. Yeah. If somebody knows what they're doing within the editor and all that stuff or the photo mode thing. I can't remember. Oh, continue.
No, I was gonna say, and it makes it easier, even just speaking, because I've seen it with some of my friends that work in the industry, that like worked on Assassin's Creed Origins or whatever, like using just photo modes and stuff for their own Twitter and stuff. It makes it easier for them to do their job because it's already built into the game. They don't have to talk to whoever, people on the dev team and be like, can I get these assets? They just go into the game, into the engine and find a really cool scene and just get those assets and make them themselves.
Yeah.
Does it seem like there are new animations for Red Dead 2 on PC? In the trailer, they show a hawk or a bird of some kind, like swooping down and catching a fish. Did anyone ever see that in the console version?
I've never seen that.
I don't think I've ever seen that. So I wonder if maybe there's like a bunch of new little detail. They should, if they did, they should lead with that. They should be like, also 2,500 new animations or whatever. I want to know all the details.
Yeah, but Red Dead is also the kind of studio that would just let you see that. You know what I mean?
Maybe, but a year after it's been released, and like they're trying to sell most people a second copy. I think at this point,
they know they're gonna buy it. They know there's so much hype.
Let us import our goddamn characters. Maybe a little more.
That just means that we're able to play together and experience.
I hate playing together.
You know, it's so. Wait, can you keep your head tilted back like that and just keep talking? Just say words.
Yeah, it's like your beard is talking. Your beard is talking.
Welcome to the show. It's me. I can't see what this looks like, so I'll take everything. It probably sounds great. Oh wait,
yeah, the more jaw movement you have, like up and down,
It's the fork in your beard.
Okay,
like a voice.
Good. This is also really, really comfortable. So only another 2.5 hours, and.
Yeah, it's that. Yeah. Hello. You gotta do the jaw up and down.
Oh
there
my god!
Holy shit! It's like it's a fucking alive.
It's like one of those hand things when you're doing the.
It's like doing this or what? It's like opening and closing.
Yeah. This is a new gag for you now to use on the stream.
It wants the fork, not for unforking the beard. Takes effort. It's like two opposite poles of a magnet down on the bottom. They just always repel.
Yeah.
Do you get a thing like I get where just under my chin it grows a little less strong, like a little circle right here? So maybe that's what that is. Maybe.
Oh yeah, I mean it grows a little different rates everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway,
Red Dead 2. It's out tomorrow when this podcast releases on iTunes and everything.
Yeah, that's true.
Real soon.
Preloaded it earlier today.
I'm gonna be off on Tuesday.
So many games out.
I'm off on Tuesday, and I'm gonna get off on Tuesday.
No Rin Dane do what it.
That's a good boy. Oh, that's a good boy.
Oh, jeez.
This is sounding strange.
Man's getting off on Tuesday.
Lady.
I don't. I'm actually kind of upset that it's Tuesday because I have D&D, which I still usually am excited for, but it's on fucking Tuesday. That's 4.5 hours of the day that I won't be playing Red Dead 2.
Speaking of D&D, I remembered the other thing I was supposed to say at the top of the show. Our D&D podcast is the Rolling Reckless, it's going to be called.
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
FM?
Rolling Reckless FM is very close to coming together. We're doing a big donations drive over on the stream this month to try and afford mixers and microphones and cameras and all sorts of stuff. We're very, very close to getting together. So if you want to support that at all, come join us on the stream, twitch.tv/TalkingRecklessPodcast here in the month of November, and we'll get this thing off the ground finally.
Hell yes.
2 fucking years later.
I'm excited.
I'm really excited too. I think we have a tremendous game. I think we play D&D very well in a way that few people I've ever played with do. And it would be a real treat to share it with y'all so we can make that happen. Join us. I should have said that at the top of the show.
Yeah.
That's okay.
It's good to bury it an hour in.
Yeah.
You could always do your own. You can, if you want to, you can cut it.
Yeah, you can
add in the beginning.
I'm not editing this. I haven't edited an episode yet. I'm not going to start here on 296.
Got a promo right now. Ready. You like them already, yeah, et cetera. I'm not doing it for free, of course.
Just a taste. Yeah,
of course.
That's right.
Just a taste.
Max doesn't work pro bono.
That's right.
Oh, I heard you were actually, speaking of Max voice acting, I heard you were in the How It Should Have Ended for It Chapter 2.
That
you
is
played
correct.
Mike. You played Old Spice guy yet again.
I played Isaiah Mustafa yet again. Yeah.
I was like, when my Liz told me about it, and she was like, "Oh yeah, Max was in that." He played Mike in the thing, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's so funny!" Like he's playing Isaiah Mustafa again.
Yeah.
Are they still making those commercials?
Yeah.
Is he still doing his thing?
Well, not those commercials now.
Swan dive and all that.
No,
Swan dive.
They use maybe now like Terry Crews and then just other stuff now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they do a bunch of rant. They're kind of down the Geico route where it's just like they're making their own things and.
It was fun to revisit that. Yeah, I got a tap from Mr. Daniel Baxter, and he was like, "Hey, we're doing this, and I can't do this voice." And first thing I thought it was you. I was like, "Sure, I'll do it." It was kind of interesting too because I did the Isaiah Mustafa. The bit is obviously Isaiah Mustafa was cast as Mike in It Too, and obviously he was the Old Spice, Swan Dive, all that guy. But it was kind of neat too because like there were some lines in there that was just like him kind of talking somewhat regular, and then he switches back into the whole
Old Spice guy.
Old Spice guy. Yeah. And I thought it was done really, really cool. There's a lot of lines too. Awesome. When I was going through, I'm like, oh, there's like significant stuff here, which is cool. Nice. I think the last time I did anything for him was Morgan Freeman for, that's all I'm good for really. Morgan Freeman.
Rises?
Yeah. Morgan Freeman and Isaiah Mustafa.
That's your Chloe from Life is Strange is Morgan Freeman.
2012. Max and I were I played Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character and he was Morgan Freeman.
Mm-hmm.
So long ago.
Yeah, but those are always really, really cool. Also, damn it, now I'm blanking on his name.
John?
In there. No, he's the other. I've known him for a little bit.
I was gonna guess random names.
No,
Alex.
He's known on YouTube for doing a lot of impressions and stuff.
PewDiePie.
No, oh yeah, totally. Why can't I think of his name right now?
I'm blanking on it too. Well, I don't know. Was it in that episode? I haven't watched it yet. I need to watch it.
Gordon.
No, I haven't. But I know who maybe you're talking about. The guy who does the Patrick Warburton voice.
No. Matthew.
Oh shit.
I'm just Brock Baker.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah. He does.
His name is Brock
Warburton.
Yeah, so
Brock
Baker was in there. It was his first thing we ever voiced together. And he was like, "Hey, man, it was cool." Like he was excited about it. And he did a great job voicing Bill Hader's character. And I think also he did. Who's I can't think of his name.
We're good at this.
X-Men, the other one.
James McAvoy.
Yeah, there you go.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yep. I got there with X.
It was one of those ones I knew his name, but it wasn't coming through. So he voiced him and Bill Hader, and it was really cool. He did a great job. But it's always fun to voice stuff. I'm trying to get back into doing parts and things like that. But for a while there, it was just like didn't have the time to do it, and now I want to do it more. Especially to be lighter on.
Never dies. Never dies. Hasn't died yet.
Well, Red Dead is supposedly coming out with a Rockstar editor thing, so I'm sure
comicbook.com reports
that'll be coming back around. Hopefully, here's hoping.
When and if that happens, I'm going in. I'm going to do that, and I will be tapping on everybody's shoulder to be like, you want to be Thug 2 or
Thug 2. I feel like I always play Thug 2. I'm really trying to. I figured I'd do some crazy accent this time.
Yeah,
Ranger.
It'd be nice.
That's all I think of. I hear that kind of voice now.
I'm gonna tap Kumail, have him have a part in there.
I could. Yes, that's the. I'm gonna do my best. This is my best Kumail. This is it right here.
Can you say, "Reach for the sky, cowboy"?
Reach for the skies, cowboy.
Oh, perfect. There we go. Nailed it.
Need another take? No, Kumail, we're good. That's enough.
We're good.
Yeah,
we're good. It's cool.
What else you been playing, Dan? Anything? Any spooky shit? I said the name of the game that I was trying to get you there, and then I fucked the whole thing up.
Oh, he left though. He's leaving.
could be.
So. Is he farting?
I don't know. Max got up and stepped away from his camera. He could be farting.
Look how blurry I am over here. No, I'm going to. Well, I was going to go grab beer, but
he said the thing. Everyone in chat wins $100.
I was gonna mention Blair Witch.
Oh, yeah.
Go pee. Yeah, you go pee. Yeah.
I'll be right back.
You're part of this. Okay. What have you been playing, Eads? We'll talk about Blair Witch.
I've been playing. Well, I played a game called Palmyra Orphanage on our spooky game stream. Which is a little Palmyra.
Palmyra?
I believe it's like a place.
Palmyra.
Possibly in.
Oh, I've never heard of Palmyra before. I've heard Myra in the name. Russia.
Let's see. It's an ancient Semitic city in present-day Homs governor. It's in Syria. It's an ancient city in Syria.
Okay. Palmyra. Interesting.
Palmyra. Yep. It was like it's one of those games where there are horror game. Stop me for this before. First person, exploring a space. There are enemies that you can't fight but have to hide from.
Psychological.
Yeah, like an Outlast, like a Soma.
Yeah.
Like a Visage. It was very good though. It's $5 on Steam, like super cheap. Made by, it seems like, very few people. And it's really well put together for what it is. It spooked me. It got me bad a couple times.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's very neat.
Not heard of that. I'll have to check it out.
So talking about Blair Witch?
No, we're talking about Palmyra Orphanage.
Talking about Eads' Palmyra.
Yeah. And now we're talking about anime, all right? Now it's my turn.
Oh, no.
Blair Witch time is over. I played a lot of Persona 5.
Before you switch, real quickly.
Blair Witch time's not over. Blair Witch time's not over.
We're
I'm kidding.
Blair Witch talk. So I had only heard bad things, mainly from Max and maybe a couple other people who were like, "Don't play that." And I was like, "Well, I want to." Well, okay,
and from me.
I was like, "Well, I want to play it and kind of form my own opinion because it didn't look that bad."
Fair.
Gears of War Judgment. Yeah.
I probably got maybe 2 hours in, and it was just so samey for the longest time, and even then the story. So, I mean, I don't want to talk spoilers for it, but can we talk spoilers? Because I never ran into anything that was spoilerable.
Loosely.
Are you gonna play it?
I'm not, but some of the 581 million, more than all the people in North America who listen to the show, might want to play.
Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time, listeners.
Potentially spoilers. Because
okay.
I'm going to ask a question, and Max can maybe.
There's not much spoilery stuff in that.
It's an audio podcast, so Max, just nod if I'm right.
Okay.
Because you had mentioned about how, I don't know, I started playing it, and you come across these tapes, and
the answer is yes.
Like videotapes?
Okay,
what are we talking about here?
But it's so
obvious.
Yeah, but it just sounds like the same dude.
Yep.
Oh, I think I just figured it out. Shit.
And you know what? Eads? It's that apparent in the game.
Who is Tyler Durden? Who is Tyler Durden?
Because all you have is one character talking the entire time, and it's the guy in the game. He's just like, "Oh, what is it, boy? You're talking to the dog, the whole mechanic of the dog.
Yeah.
Like it seems to be very tight around that mechanic in the game, and you're just walking around looking for this kid who's missing in the woods. And there's cops out there who are trying to search, doing a manhunt thing, and then you come across some tapes, and the person on the tape is like apparently took the kid. But it's when you start playing the tape, all you've heard is the one guy in the game the entire time, and then the voice on the tape. So the guy's walking around going, "Oh, what is it, boy? What are you trying to find?" Yep. And then you hit play on the tape and it goes, "Oh, I'm gonna go find this boy. Oh, there he is." Yep. And it's like,
it's apparent as that this is it. This is it right here. Ready? Whoops. Where are we going, boy? Okay. I don't know. It's kind of spooky out here. What's this tape have on it?
Hey, it's me. I'm this guy.
Well, that could be anybody.
Oh, yeah. I did it. I'm the one. Who am I? You don't know.
Maybe the dog made him? I don't know. That's weird. That's too bad. I've heard, nothing good about Blair Witch, but that sounds like bad in a way I maybe didn't expect. Poorly written or poorly produced, I suppose.
There's some neat mechanics that you play around with, the like videotapes and stuff that you find that kind of manipulate stuff in the world. Not something I haven't seen before. in games, but also well enough implemented into this one where I'm like, oh, it left me kind of hopeful in the beginning. And then I was like way early, like you too, Dan, just like, oh God, I hope it's not this. Please, God, not let it be. Let it not be this.
Less than an hour in when you find a tape, and it just sounds like the dude.
And again, this isn't. I mean, I guess this is spoilery, but I don't fucking care.
It's ruined.
Also,
it's ruined.
But later on in the game too, they just beat you over the head with like classic cliches where, oh, you're separated from the dog. You just hear the dog whimpering because clearly it's hurt.
That's like the movie where you just hear the guy yelling, but they can't find him. That happens in the movie, right?
It's even worse though, because you're trapped in like a little like canyon area where it's a bunch of rocks and stuff, and you have to wander and continue to walk while you hear this dog fucking whimpering, and then you hear like, you fucked up. You weren't there for them. You're a fucking piece of shit. You deserve everything that's happening to you. Like, essentially, that's what it is. It's like, just like, it's supposed to be this big moment of realization and all that stuff. And it's just drawn out for like so fucking long. And you don't know where to walk. You don't know if you're supposed to go forward or backwards. And I guess that's the point.
With the dog, I didn't know where to go half the time. At the very beginning, when you're learning the dog mechanic, I was like letting the dog go around, and eventually it led me to whatever. But like, God, I was getting lost, and I was like, oh, this is.
That game had like maybe a couple hours at most okayish. That's whatever. We're gonna go with that phrase.
Sure.
And then it just fell into a heaping pile of shit. It was not good.
Star Trek Insurrection status.
Yeah.
Was it at least scary? Okay, well that's a hard no.
Into the first maybe scary moment where there's something in the woods and you have a flashlight and you can't really, and the dog, you got to stay near the dog, don't lose the dog or whatever. So I just stayed near the dog and pointed wherever it was barking, and then that was it. Like, it would disappear whatever was there, and I was like, oh, this is not very scary, and it's not very like super well made in my opinion.
By the way, too, like midway in the game, the creepy guy that's in the woods that you keep hearing,
whoever he is.
Whoever he might be, he for some reason your dog is super cool with him. Doesn't have an issue with him at all. And
oh my God, why would he go to me or go away from me when I know?
It's Caesar Milan, the dog whisperer.
Yeah. And I was just like, as I saw that too, I was like, oh, come on, are you serious, game? This is what you've done.
Sounds like, I don't even know. It kind of sounds like they had the idea for the twist, and they were like, this has to be a Blair Witch game. We need to just.
It was very Silent Hill-y. It reminded me of Silent Hill a lot. Just as far as like style of game, where it's like somebody kind of going through their own, they're being tortured by their past or whatever.
Yeah.
Apparently too, it's made by the same people that made Layers of Fear 2 and Layers of Fear, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, Layers of Fear was okay.
Layers of Fear was all right.
Layers of Fear kind of scared me a little bit.
They also made Observer, which was actually a pretty fucking good game.
Oh.
And
we just tried to play Observer like last week.
Not good.
I think
we'll talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, I named it a capital B bad game, but I didn't finish it.
How much did you play?
Like the first 3-ish hours. We got up to there was like a scene where you find a lady in a chair, and she's like all wires are like she's absorbed into the chair almost, and you go into her mind, and there's like a wind, and you got to hide behind the tombstones so the wind doesn't blow you back down the hill.
Around there is where you stopped?
Yeah, we made our choice and then played a little bit more.
Yeah, so that I will say it's slow, especially in the beginning, because you're going around talking to like the different tenants and stuff, and it takes a bit of time.
And they're all saying literally nothing.
I know.
Absolute shit. Just like not even good writing. It's just like ring, ring, ring. This is Observer we're talking about. It's you ring the doorbell or whatever, and they just like kids are like, "Give me back my toy. That's my toy." They're like, "Oh, I guess there's kids."
You got to get past that stuff. I'd say give it maybe one more shake, and then like a couple more hours, because then it does get actually into some neat stuff, and you get more into the psychological thriller, weird reality kind of stuff, things playing around. That's what they like to do, obviously. Like this studio, which does Layers of Fear and Layers of Fear 2.
Yeah.
Obviously, they do that too in a Blair Witch a bit. But between having made Layers of Fear 1, Layers of Fear 2 is kind of it looked pretty, but it was more of the same and nothing really learned from the first game, I guess, as far as like the foibles that they made. But I think Observer is probably one of their best games that they made.
I should give it. I should maybe take another stab.
Give it one more shake. Plus, you got Rutger Hauer, who's your main guy. I could listen to him, narrate and stuff. That carries it a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I found out it was the same people that did Observer. I'm like, Jesus fuck, right?
Bloober team.
Yeah, but I don't know.
No, they can't all be bangers, I guess.
Yeah. I think maybe they literally had a hard date. They were supposed to put this out because it was like, bigger IP that was recognizable, and they had a time where they wanted to put it out by, and they just did not have enough time.
It was so out of nowhere. It was just like, here it is at E3. Yeah. Also, it's out in a month. I don't know. Yeah. It's very, very, very strange.
I wouldn't even be surprised if it was a game that they were already working on in the more truer like horror genre of like Forest and all that. Like they had maybe, like you said, like a little bit of an idea of a game, and then maybe they were approached to be like, you guys make horror games. What do you think about a Blair Witch game? And we're like, okay.
I guess we could add a dog to that thing we were making and call it a Blair Witch game, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. Disappointing. Insurrection status. Approved.
Insurrection status.
It was very Silent Hillsy. And speaking of Silent Hills, I just played PT again. And that I wish had become a game because it's still great.
Yeah.
That's the Silent Hills playable teaser that came out. Konami, Kojima, all that.
It kind of became a game, a little sort of. We played speaking of PT, we played Visage on our on the Spooky stream, which is like that game made into a full game.
It's not as good though, in my opinion. I've played Visage as well. I know there was a newer update. I had just played when there was only.
I didn't like that new update at all.
Yeah, well, I didn't like I wasn't crazy about. Maybe I'm mixing it up with stuff though too, because I was watching you play it.
Yeah.
It's
a little more like resource management. You have you like can't be in the dark or you go insane, so you have candles and light bulbs.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about it.
I really liked that first part, but the second part was.
Is Visage is the or Visage or Visage? That's the one where you're like in the house, right?
Yeah.
Stomping around. Okay. Yeah.
It starts almost exactly like PT, where like you wake up in this weird bloody room. Except in PT, there's a little bag, a talking bag. It's like, the only me is me. Is the only you.
That's like halfway through the game, though. That's not even at the very beginning. In the beginning, you wake up and you're in the dark room, and that side is in shadow.
I remember enjoying it overall, Visage.
Yeah, Visage scared the shit out of me on that first part.
A game in the horror, like spooky genre, that's able to be even just halfway decent, I respect that a lot. Because most of the stuff that comes out in that genre is fucking crap. It's awful.
It's very easy to squeeze out some cheap jump scares and call it a horror game.
Yeah.
Soma. If you like a good thinking man's horror game, you should check out Soma. Soma is dope.
Yeah. Soma is so magnificent. Well, yep, I spoke words right there. So magnificent. I like Soma a lot.
I see where you're going.
Yeah.
It's very good.
It pooped out of me. So yeah, Soma's fantastic. That's like existential horror.
Yeah. Oh, that game freaks me out a lot. I think about it still quite often.
Yeah, it's playing with some themes.
Don't use transporters. Like, don't use teleporters. Don't. It's the you've seen The Prestige. You know not to use. Someone's apparently free on the Epic Store. There you go.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, I'll get it right now.
Yeah, it's I really like it. It's like nice, and it's like an 8 or 9 hour. It's pretty tight.
Yeah,
and it's not harrowing horror. You're not like, oh, something's gonna jump out at me. Like Dan says, it's totally psychological. It's very good.
Well, I went into it thinking it was going to be scarier than it was, and I was kind of like, because the atmosphere of it is generally pretty like ominous, like it feels like something's going to happen, but it doesn't really kind of hit you with something where it's like, okay, you're kind of scared because the situation that you're in, like you said earlier with the whole Outlast thing where you can't really fight back, so you're on the run. That doesn't really happen until maybe an hour or even later into the game.
And even when it does, those guys are like no big deal in Soma.
Yeah, but you're kind of investigating the situation of like what is going on here, all that stuff.
It's one of my favorite games is Soma.
I like it.
Can't say enough.
I've heard that it was really good too. Like I don't play a whole lot of scary games on the channel because of the reason that most of them are crap. But when we hear that one is decent, I will go back and play it. And I think a lot of the draw for me to play it as a content creator is I'm not somebody that comes through and is like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ. I'm not easily scared. 2, I'm not going to ham it up. And 3, I usually try to make it. I come through those games pretty cynical, and it makes it easier for people that won't be able to play those themselves because they're a huge wuss, self-admittedly. And I get that a lot. They're like, "Oh, I like watching you play scary games because I can watch it. I can get that experience because you make it easier to get through it." You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe I'll check out Soma. But I appreciate a good scary game, you know, especially if it's like a good psychological thriller kind of thing, and it's like you said, it's a thinking man's one. I appreciate that a lot.
Soma is more I would call it like a good. It's a good story game first,
yeah,
and then has some it's a horror game like BioShock 1 is a horror game in that it kind of isn't.
I was about to ask y'all if y'all consider BioShock a horror game. That's so weird.
First one totally
read my mind.
Yeah, the first one I totally do.
Yeah.
3 definitely not.
Is it someone new?
Oh fuck!
And then all the lights start ding 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 ding.
Ugh.
Powerful scene.
I was just thinking about Infinite too. I want to replay that. That's
real.
I played it for the first time like less than a year ago, and I had managed to avoid all spoilers on Infinite, and I was so enamored with it. I liked it a lot.
Play Burial at Sea parts 1 and 2.
That DLC, even that was my favorite version of any BioShock period.
Yeah.
Like, that's BioShock.
What DLC?
Burial at Sea parts 1 and 2. Have you not seen any? You should not look anything up. You should just download them and just start playing them, assuming you finished BioShock Infinite once before.
I don't remember. I have beaten BioShock Infinite. I want to say that because it's a return to
Rapture. Yeah.
Okay, that's right. What I was trying to avoid talking about. But yeah, it takes place in Rapture, which is real dope.
Yeah.
Not knowing that and going in and just be like, oh my god!
I went through and played it all. But I know that happens.
Yeah, it's very good. You play as Elizabeth, I think. It's like a weird stealth. It reminds me a lot of the Sierra Madre. It's a weird like stealth thing.
It's a 1-and-1. There's a stealth part, and the first part is not stealth.
Yeah, it's very good. If you like Infinite, play that DLC.
Yeah. Well, it brings back some of the mechanics of old school BioShock. Then it takes out the Infinite mechanics, and I was like, I like this better. It
also, again, without spoiling this really old DLC, it ties all the BioShock together in a way that you didn't think was possible until you hear it, and you're like, oh,
Yeah,
it's really very good. It's very, very good.
I kind of just want to replay Infinite. Maybe when there's like
Infinite's also super good too.
After this, maybe this just
give it a couple
waterfall
months
of games that we have. This drenching of good games that we have.
We're drenched.
We are.
I am wet.
Super wet.
With games.
Yeah, maybe I'll save it for that and then replay it and then do
Angel Dust.
Yes, of course.
Sherman Helmsley. Gentlemen, I've been playing an insane amount of anime lately.
Talk to me about I've watched a fair bit of this, and you're still playing it with no end in sight.
Well, I mean, there is an end somewhere. I see. It's probably not. Persona 5 is probably not an infinite video game.
I said in sight.
Yeah, it's in sight. Absolutely not.
Didn't you play like 40 plus hours of Persona 4?
40. This guy thinks we played 40.
No, 70 hours. 70 hours.
Keep going.
90?
It's somewhere between like 85, 90.
I remember when you were around 70 hours and you were like, there's more. And I remember you weren't crazy about the game in the first place, as was like story wise. Some of it I remember you talking about.
There's a like fake ending in Persona 4. There's a bad ending very early that we totally hit. I was like, what the fuck? Ah. 5 seems very good. I like 5 a lot. I talk about it pretty much every week on the podcast. I don't really have too much new to report. We just unlocked a new character. We just got Queen, I think is her thief name, Makoto. She rides a motorbike. She's pretty fucking cool.
That's the one that nobody liked, and then all of a sudden they liked her.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's the cop's sister, you know, and I'm being interrogated by the cops, and then her sister's all like snooping in stuff, and no cops allowed.
You got to make sure she's about that life, right?
That's right, and we did, and it turns out she's way about that life, like even more so than Senpai, than yours truly. It's good. It's very good. The music is so fucking good. So good. It did not. I don't think we had categories for our end of year show the year it came out. But the fact that Persona 5 is not won at Best Music, Talking Reckless Gotti Award is a travesty that I aim to rectify this year.
Do you guys do you have best music this year? Or?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, buddy. You should check out that Game of the Year document. We got categories on there.
You guys used to have best music, right?
Last year we had categories. I think that was our first year. Persona 5 Royal, the re-release, is out with Japanese, no English VO yet. So it can totally qualify. That music is so fucking good.
Anyway, huh? Anyway, you can get it in there.
Anyway, it's the best music of the year. It deserves to win. Better than
that Shapeshifter song quite a lot.
Yeah.
I'm a shapeshifter, or whatever she says.
Yeah, it sounds like she says shaft shifter because she doesn't.
Yeah. I'm a shaft shifter.
I think she's like singing English phonetically.
Right. Yeah.
So
I don't think she actually is a native speaker. Right. Yeah.
It's so good though. Oh man, is it ever great?
I feel like I've played that game, at least a decent bit of that game, just watching you play it. And that music, I'm okay with it. It's
very good music. Sometimes they hit your rock theme. It's like, oh, it's time to do crimes or whatever we're doing.
Yeah. I don't think I'm ever going to play these games, which is kind of a sad thing for me. And I can't do it just because I can't dedicate that much time. I don't think that many people are going to be interested in watching me play the game on stream. That would be the only way that I would play them, really, because offline I just don't play games as much.
We need it's anime fans. Our time has finally come. We can make our voices heard. If enough of us get at Max and tell him that he should play Persona 5, he's shaking his head no.
The anime zone.
Yeah, if we get him into the anime zone.
You're already how many hours?
Like 40? 37 or something?
God.
I think I'm on the third of 5. I think there are 5 main dungeons, and I'm on 3.
And I just see
you get to hang out with girls, man.
I can see too. And when I've seen you stream it too, people are like, "Oh, you're not even. Please, come on.
You haven't even unlocked the." I mean, I've only unlocked the 5th character, and I think there were 11.
And I'm just like, that sounds awful to me. There's too many games that come out and too many things that happen that I want to stream where I would not be able to dedicate that time. I just wouldn't.
Listen, it's not. It's time that I get to dedicate, not have to dedicate. I'm going to the beef bowl place with Makoto sometimes.
Oh, someone just said their playthrough was 163 hours.
Yeah, I can see that.
63 hours is insane.
I can see that. I fast track a lot of the bullshit because I have a very low anime tolerance, so I fast track a lot of that stuff.
That would be me too. That would be me too. So maybe that's not super accurate. But even for a long, somebody who's absorbing all the little bits and bobs of the game.
There's 7 dungeons? What the fuck? Okay, maybe it's like 120 hours. Yeah, maybe I'm not even close.
That's crazy. Dude.
Take my hand, Max, and jump off this anime bridge with me.
That's fucking crazy. I would have to absolutely adore a game to play it that much.
You start saying senpai ironically, and then it just stops being ironic.
Yeah.
And that's when you get your senpai certification.
That's right, Daniel Kuhn.
God.
And Max Chan.
I'm assuming these are anime things he's saying.
I think they're Japanese honorifics, I think.
Would it be Max Chan?
I think Chan is for a little girl. Well, Chan.
Well, Chan, yeah. That would be appropriate for me because inside I am a little girl.
Yeah, exactly. I think I honestly don't know how it works. It's a very good game. I'm borrowing it from someone, so I feel like I have to finish it.
There's a cat that turns into a bus.
Yeah, it can only turn into a bus. Why? Yeah. Why a bus and why only a bus?
Has the data predicament of wanting to be a human, but
thinks he is human. Thinks he might have once been human.
Well, no, because there is some doubt that I saw recently. It's
true.
You think I'm really a human? And you think I could be? And then you're like, yeah, you got this. And they're like, yeah, I am.
There was a mascot costume of a bear, a living empty mascot costume of a bear in Persona 4, who turned into a man because he wanted to, quote, score with girls. So, I mean, anything is... There's also a fox who sold drugs. Man, Persona 4 is pretty good, too. We're just deep in the anime zone for the next 20 years.
Wow. I think I'm just going to live vicariously through your playthrough and be like, we played that together, Eads.
What if I romance? What if you, Max, don't want to romance our homeroom teacher who moonlights as a maid on Fridays and Saturdays because she has to pay her sister's medical bills but doesn't want anybody to know? So I've been calling her to clean my room because if I do it enough, she'll give me a special massage.
That's very anime. That's very anime, and that's very Japan.
Yeah, that's, I don't know. Also, we've never had a class, which is fucking bullshit. Also, I'm able to slack off in her class, and then we just never have class. It's fucking stupid, but it's very fun. I really like it.
Wow.
Anybody got any other games, Max? Have we even gone through you?
Luigi's Mansion 3!
Oh, wahoo!
Yeah, let's go!
How is it? How gooey is your Gooigi?
Oh,
Ew.
that's how gooey he is.
Oh yeah, that's the sexiest thing.
Really good, actually. I'm super enjoying it. Also, people were talking about best soundtrack. Luigi's Mansion 3 is pretty good.
Does it have the the song?
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
And the entire soundtrack is actually just like 20 different versions of that?
Yes.
Smooth
100%.
jazz.
100% that.
That's pretty dope.
There's like a game show version of that when you go into the little shop that the professor has. And he's like, hey, why don't you spend your gold here? And you get into that menu and it's like, or something like that. I don't remember exactly how it is, but it's like super, infomercial. You want to be like, and you can get a new car. Like, and then the what's it called? He fucking, I don't know how much I want to spoil here, but whatever. You get a virtual boy, essentially. They call it the virtual boo. And that's
like a visor?
Yes.
Oh shit.
And they make a joke about it, like, oh, it's it's super bright red, but red's all the rage. Like they totally make a like we know it blinded people's eyes and stuff, and it was super bright. But that's your like remote way of communicating with him while you're in the mansion.
Still Professor Egad, your main man?
Yeah, for sure. And when he calls you on that, it's like this really cool like ringtone version of that. And every time that motherfucker busts out and he calls me, I have to like beatbox to it or like slap the desk or something to it. It's so fucking good. But yeah, Luigi's Mansion 3 it's just a fun game. It's just a really good, fun, lighthearted game. Nothing secret. There it is.
Oh yeah.
It's good, right?
I gotta take this, you guys. Sorry, one sec. Fuck, I might make that my ringtone. That's dope.
It's really good. I already, you can probably find it on Google, but I specifically told Chad, I'm like, can you guys just clip this? And then I just said nothing and turned up the game so that way I can get the audio from it. But yeah, it's really good. I would heavily suggest playing that if you don't know what to play next or you want something a little bit different. It also seems like it's fairly lengthy because I played it for about a little over 5 hours, and there's still plenty of buttons that I have to get for extra floors that are in this like hotel that you're invited to. That's kind of the premise. You get invited with the rest of the whole gang, Mario, Luigi, Peach, and some Toads. And then obviously something goes on. And you have to, part of the game is you have to recover hotel buttons, right? As you're going around and hunting ghosts and getting bosses and stuff per floor. So that kind of segments the game per floor, which is nice because you know like what you have left, at least at some point or in some instance. And yeah, man, it's fucking good. It's really, really good.
You tried the co-op at all?
I have not tried the co-op at all. No. And I know there's like some sort of multiplayer, I guess. So I don't know what that's about. I think part of it is local, but I also think that you can play online a little bit.
8 players can participate in the Scare Scraper and Scream Park multiplayer modes.
Yeah, I think that's like, it's kind of like their sort of Mario Party-esque local play. Of course, you won't be able to play that online because Nintendo hates fun. But that's kind of how that works, I guess. But the base game by itself is super fun. I intend fully to beat that game.
More multiplayer fun with future DLC.
Yeah,
apparently.
Yeah. But yeah, I really like that game. I would heavily suggest. I mean, it's a $60 price tag, so it is. It's pricey for those people that are trying to be a little frugal with their games and stuff. But from what I've played thus far, it seems like it's got enough to play. And if you're looking for like a good, just kind of lighthearted, fun, new Luigi's Mansion game to play, you can, and it's fun. A lot of cool secrets and stuff to discover. And little puzzles and stuff that are not so complicated where you'll never find them. But cool enough and subtle enough where when you find them, you feel smart and you're like, yay, So.
Yeah.
Plus I have chat helping me out a little bit when I miss stuff. So I'm speaking a little bit from that variety. But.
Any other games anybody has here? We'll take a quick break before the news, empty bladders, and that sort of thing. Fill drinks. Any last minute thoughts?
One more thing, real quick. I'll summarize it. Planet Zoo coming out in a couple days here. Now, there's a game called GTFO, which you guys might be somewhat familiar with.
It's a
something that was announced a bit ago at some show. It might have been E3 or whatever.
Is this the one where
basically it's a co-op, like kind of think of it like Left 4 Dead 2, but much slower, and you have to work together, and it's much more brutal. So there's like monsters and stuff that kind of operate like clickers, like in the Last of Us, and they're scattered all throughout where you're going through, and you're trying to recover data and do this stuff. It's 4 players, so you all have to like synchronize when you knock out certain monsters and stuff as you go through these different areas.
It looks pretty.
Yeah, this looks cool.
I would say just all I'm going to say is check it out. Look into it a little bit yourself. I've played the alpha. Runs really, really good. Looks great, and something we might want to play together in the future for a little co-op action.
I have been known to go for. We should finish the Remnant.
I was just thinking that. I was like, we haven't played
Remnant
about that.
Yeah,
we should get that done before the end of the year.
From the Ashes.
Yeah, but that's a good one too, and I played that a little bit as well. So just take a look at it if that sounds even mildly interesting to you. But
it was not when you brought up GTFO. I was thinking something different. There is a multiplayer horror game. Someone help me fill this in. Where like the devs are something about they are like fucking with the game live as you're playing or something, or like going on mics, like whispering in your ear or something.
Yeah. Fuck. What the fuck is that game? I've played it multiple times, and I've had the devs do that.
What are they just like? You're a loser.
Oh shit! Something Club, Blackout Club.
Blackout Club.
Yep, that's what it is. Guess what? Ashley Birch is in that game.
Oh. What is the gimmick? People keep telling me to play it. They're like, I can't tell you what it is. I already looked it up, unfortunately, because people were like, I can't tell you. You just got to play it. And I'm like, well, okay, now I have to know.
So it is fun, and I would play with it if you wanted to try it out. Basically, yeah, it's four person. You have objectives and stuff. I think the premise is like these kids went away and they from the neighborhood, and they came back to the neighborhood, and everything's like the town's taken over. People are like possessed, kind of like they're asleep, but they're not. And there's like these different other monsters too that are wandering around the neighborhood, and you have these different objectives that you have to do that are kind of sort of randomly generated, and it gets harder and harder. Yeah, and the devs can and do fuck with people in that game, especially obviously if you're streaming. I literally had a moment where the devs, like we did something and the devs transported us all to this like different fucking nether realm or whatever while we were talking to apparently a god or something like that. And they were listening to us and responding to things we were saying because our mics were hot, So we're like, what the fuck is going on? And they were like, oh yes. Or like it would be something like,
oh yes, Gassy Mexican. Loud and clear,
So do they give that same treatment to everybody? I know they have people that there's like a team of people, not just devs, that their job is to like fuck with people that are actively playing.
Game master almost.
Yeah, kind of like game master roles, right? So that's neat. I will say the progression when we were playing it, as far as like leveling up to get to the new parts of the neighborhood, and different, ideally new enemies and things like that. The progression needed to be tweaked in terms of it took too long and it was a lot of grinding. And we told that to the devs and they were like, we appreciate that feedback. So has that been implemented? I don't know. But if you've never played it before, it's definitely worth a try with a couple of friends, or even if you just match up with some other people. I'd be down if you.
I wonder what, like you say, I wonder like what Joe average not streaming, just someone picks up the game.
That would be my one caution is like, I don't know how, I can't speak to how active the game masters or the actual devs are to your regular players. There's kind of a thing too where like you pray to like an altar or something like that. If you wanted to like respect your character or something like that, I think it was what it is. And you can leave a message, and it then when you die or something like that, or you'll hear those messages from other players, and then they'll record something. They'll record something kind of like responding to that.
That sounds dangerous on the internet.
Well, obviously, I'm sure that those are vetted and they don't just have like people being like penis, 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 penis.
How many people do you have to have vetting though? Think of the amount of penises coming in compared to.
I would imagine
it's like all Google text-to-speech readout. Oh, I got another penis here.
I've never heard one that was bad, so I think it's mainly just like they get a bunch of them submitted, and only the ones that they choose are actually put in the rotation. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, like vet them in chunks or something.
Exactly.
That's really fascinating. This live game where the devs are like messing with it.
It's really neat. Yeah, but yeah,
that's very cool. The Blackout Club was that game that I was idly trying to remember. Oh, well, let's go over a quick break then. We'll
let's do it.
Empty one liquid vessel and fill another. If you're watching the stream, just the way it's set up, I can't put the BRB screen on. So actually, maybe I totally can put the BRB screen on. We'll figure it out. If you're watching the stream, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. News, emails. We don't have any emails. So if you guys want to write some emails, then podcast.reckless.com. This would be a good time. And all that noise on the other side of this. Not musical break.
Break time, everybody.
I'm gonna mute my Discord and myself. We'll see you in a second.
Yeah.
Now, if you're just tuning in, you must be thinking, these guys are crazy. What are they staring at that pile of seaweed for?
Sure is what I'm thinking.
Well, what you're actually looking at is an octopus.
Oh.
These guys are masters of camouflage. They can change color and skin texture. Some have even been observed walking on 2 arms and imitating a coconut.
They're nuts, all right.
Now, they mostly feed off of mussels, herring, and crab.
Expensive taste, huh?
When they're hungry or in some sort of danger, they haul some serious tail.
No, they haul all 8 arms.
That's right. And if we're lucky, we may get to see what's called jet propulsion. It's the only time you'll see an octopus go fast. And I mean real fast.
Really intelligent creatures. Really... Hey, where'd it go?
Yeah. I wouldn't recommend keeping these guys as pets. They often find their way out of captivity.
Really intelligent creatures.
Bringing us back, Dan. Buckle up. Oh no, people won't be able to see. Oh no, Dan, we're back.
I'm back now on my end.
We're back. Everyone's Max will be back presently.
Yeah. You gotta go grab her.
A lot of Blizzcon news. This a lot of Blizzcon news today.
Oh yeah.
BlizzCon and I weren't
so bad earlier.
If Blizzard and I weren't feuding, man, would I really like to play Diablo 4.
What are you feuding about? You gonna talk about it on the podcast?
We've talked about it ad nauseum.
Oh, okay.
Although they did give a totally bullshit apology.
I think you and I, I mentioned that to you.
The repression
you hadn't seen
basic human rights, Daniel.
There you go.
Is what I'm feuding with them over.
You and you alone. It's one man thing.
Well, I mean, when it becomes a one-man thing, listen, a boycott is a targeted. It has to be a big. Oh, there's no such thing as a one-person boycott. That doesn't fucking make any sense.
Oh, I thought it was about a boy and his cop.
That's a boy and his cot FM, new podcast I'm working on.
Oh,
I don't want to say too much.
But there isn't a cot, surprisingly enough. What is that you're spinning?
I don't. It's a pen on a pen. It's a pen on a pen.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if that triangular light of Max's is a. I need something that says my name.
Triforce. It looks like a Triforce.
I was trying. Is it the Assassin's Creed A? But just like out of focus.
No, maybe.
It's the Deathly Hallows. Yeah, shit.
I see the stick and the circle. You and I figured out right at the same time.
A bunch of fucking nerds.
Bunch of fucking nerds. What is
I
that
barely even know Harry Potter. That's really funny. What is on top?
What's the thing that's lit up at the top there? It looks like a gun of some sort. Maybe a portal gun. Well, not a portal gun.
That could be his Mass Effect. His whatever the assault rifle's called. I don't know what that
looks like he has an ODST helmet.
Oh, what?
Is that a Deathly Hallows light behind you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we thought.
Nice.
And what is the thing at the top left or
what's the upper
Gassy?
what's the upper light?
Is that a gun?
Which thing?
He's up the light above.
Gassy, the other side.
This way? Yeah. That.
That's Piccolo doing special beam cannon.
Oh shit.
That's awesome.
Oh shit, I love special beam cannon.
Here, look at it.
Special.
He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. Oh, he's like breathing in and everything. That's super cool.
It's like the shittiest move in Dragon Ball because it takes 12 years to charge up and never does. It kills Raditz.
The shittiest move. Except the Spirit Bomb is the longest one.
Cool things too.
Yeah, but the Spirit Bomb wrecks house. The Spirit Bomb is worth the wait.
That's an Elcar's display. I'm calling it.
What?
It's the Star Trek Elcar's display.
Yeah.
I can see it from here. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, wow.
And then this also lights up.
Is that an ODST helmet?
No, it's a Mass Effect one.
Oh, lame.
Oh yeah, can you wear that one? That looks big enough to put on your
Why
head.
aren't those all lit up when you're doing your background?
Because sometimes if I have all of them on, the camera likes to, the way it is, it likes to focus in on.
Yeah, that's dope. That looks like out of focus like this. It looks like you have green screened a character, like a Mass Effect character from the game.
Into the game. It does make him look like a 3D.
Let me be still ready.
Oh shit. Yeah, especially when you move. That's very cool.
Neat.
That's cool that it fits.
Yeah, I mean, I'll leave it on. I guess I'll leave the stuff on and see if it fucks up much. But
What would it fuck up?
His autofocus, I guess. The camera like autofocuses in the background or something.
Oh, you know what? I think it's his his auto. It's not set to autofocus. It's more like the
there's some shit that I gotta mess with. Yeah, it's like.
I've noticed your exposure.
Oh yeah,
changes.
when you sit back down.
The exposure, yeah, I gotta fucking figure that shit out because
you'll have to fix
it drives me insane.
Your focus.
I know, and we do it this way. Usually, I go like this, and like, where's my head? Where does it rest?
Less,
Okay.
little higher, little lower, more f-stop,
Whee!
less aperture, and perfect.
That's about it, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it looks good. And now you got the bokeh on the helmet back there. And,
Yeah.
looks
There you
pretty
go.
neat.
Oh, am I on the wrong screen? Oh, sorry, gang. Okay, hey, that's okay. You guys weren't supposed to see any of that, anyways. Am I not on the right screen? What is?
What screen are you on?
Oh yeah. Hey, there we go.
That lamp though, pretty fucking cool with Piccolo, right?
Yeah, that's really neat.
Yeah.
That was something that was advertised on Instagram. Actually, pretty fucking cheap. And
I feel so fucking stupid that I didn't have the screen on that whole time. As you're describing all your shit.
Oh yeah.
Because I just went to my regular. I didn't even think about it.
Over here in the Dan's cave, they could see
Okay,
it.
stop that right now. Get him out of
This is the Talking
here.
Reckless podcast.
I would do it again, but I don't want to.
It's my first day, you guys. Sorry about that. Anyways, it's Piccolo. It's Piccolo is the light at the back.
That one.
People asking about
Special beam cannon. We were just trying to figure out what they were.
When you were
Yeah,
gone,
it's
we
Piccolo
were
right there shooting special beam cannon. It's one of those kind of Edison lights, like coiled to look like special beam cannon.
12 episodes later.
Special beam cannon.
No, special beam cannon wasn't 12 episodes later.
It was the first one.
Yeah,
The
Lemony
first
and
one, he
Zombie
has
and
to like, I can only hold Raditz for 4 episodes, Piccolo. You
Yeah.
better get it going. Oh,
Yeah.
jeez, Pick. Hello?
Played by Morty.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I don't like Rick and Morty. I don't do. I think Dan muted himself in his.
Yeah, just for a second.
Oh, were you dialing in your impression? What was that?
Yep.
No, I was.
I could see it. He's
a
gonna-
handsy talker.
I could see it. I could see it.
No, I was talking to the chat.
Oh,
Just
apologizing for my
letting them know that I
dumbness.
couldn't keep talking to the chat.
Yeah. Sorry again about that, gang. I'm stupid. Moving on. Let's talk about some news. Some real.
Topics.
Let's talk about some
I was thinking the
topics.
same thing.
BlizzCon happened. Probably finishing by
I think
now.
it's finished by now, yeah.
Lots of
BlizzCon
news.
is Blizz gone.
It was people on a little bit of pins and needles for this BlizzCon. Obviously the Hong Kong thing. Last year's you don't have phones moment, which I think a lot of people maybe still feel about. But they showed a bunch of games, which seems to have people pretty happy. They showed Diablo 4. I don't know. I just have a bunch of like bullet. It's very short videos and a couple gameplay demos. There's not a lot to go on. A lot of stuff. It looks like Diablo 3.
The anime, it does. It looks like maybe polished up a little bit Diablo 3.
It's grim, and it's remember when I said Diablo 3 was too colorful. You know what I hate? Blue. There's no blue in Diablo 4.
I'm okay with it being bleak and more grim and whatever. That's okay. That said, I like Diablo 3. Like
Yeah,
I had
so did I.
no issue with Diablo 3. I thought it was really good. The animation on that fucking trailer, holy shit.
I mean, Blizzard's
God.
CG trailers are always
Yeah, they're always amazing, right?
like
But
the World of
Good
Warcraft trailer
God.
and just all of it is like holy.
there was
shit.
like, especially the first time I started playing, I'm like, holy shit! I'm like, is this real? Is this actors or no? It's not actors. Is it? No, it's not. Like, yeah, it was fucking with me, but kind of, it's like almost 10 minutes long, right?
Oh yeah, it's I want to say maybe the longest
9 minutes
opening
is a lot,
cutscene
yeah.
for anything Blizzard's ever done. I've watched every single one of Blizzard's CG cutscenes ever, except for the most recent World of Warcraft ones. I want to say the 10-minute opener is like fucking long in a way that when I saw it, I'm like, oh, this is gonna just that you see the 10-minute timestamp, you're like, oh, this must have devs or something like, oh, we want to do this or whatever. It's just 10 minutes of cutscene. It's pretty amazing. So apparently this Diablo 4 is going to be, they have 5 classes. They've shown the Barbarian and the Sorcerer, who were, I guess she was called the Wizard in Diablo 3, I think. And they showed the Druid. My boy the Druid is coming back.
My boy Drew.
That's right. Drew, he works at id. And apparently it's going to be kind of this contiguous open world. It's going to be like Destiny a bit, where it's going to be this open world where everyone is going to play together, but the world is going to scale to you, as far as I understand. So, like, if I'm level 20 and Dan, you're level 30 and Max, you're level 15 or whatever, we can, we should all be able to play together, and it should just work, apparently.
It's the whole Borderlands thing, right? Borderlands 3.
Oh, yeah, I
did the same thing.
I
Yeah.
did not actually know Borderlands did that. And then they're going to have dungeons and like, instances are going to branch off from this open world. They've talked about world events. It sounds very much in that kind of Destiny mold. There's a new item tier, Mythic. We've never had Mythics before. They're red.
Yeah,
That seems friggin' wild.
that's kind of big, right?
Yeah, totally. And it's the main bat. So in Diablo 3, crash course in Diablo. 3 primevals: hatred, terror, and destruction. Mephisto, hatred; Diablo, terror; destruction. Baal. You fuck them all up throughout the course of Diablo. You kill them all. You put them in their soul stone. You destroy them. They're gone forever, apparently, and they just keep coming back or whatever. The villain in Diablo 3 was Diablo again, but a lady this time. The villain in Diablo 4 is Mephisto, but a lady this time. Diablo 5. Smell one stepping on? Yeah, you got there. That's right. No, it's just, they talk a lot. They talk a lot about how everything. They come in threes. Is the title of that first cinematic. So I could see a expansion, maybe even where you fight the daughter of destruction or whatever they're calling their primevals. It is Lilith, who is the daughter of hatred, which you can kind of imply if she is not literally the daughter of Mephisto. Thematically, certainly is. Just like the Diablo in Diablo 3 was not. It is literally Diablo, but in a female form. It looks neat. It looks real neat. I'm a big Diablo lore nerd as well, so.
Yeah.
There's fucking tall Rosh is down there in that tomb, know what I'm saying?
Y'all want to play some Diablo 4 when that shit come out? Yeah.
Have they, I don't think they've talked about release dates or anything yet.
Yeah. I just like Diablo. And,
I really like Diablo.
Yeah.
I wish I would have played more of 3 because I was a big fan of 2 back in the day. I had a friend, my next door neighbor he was actually a PC gamer and he kind of got me somewhat into PC gaming. And I played a lot of Diablo 2 over there and had picked it up subsequently. But when 3 came out, I think maybe Max and I played the beta when it came out. So that was like early 2012 or mid 2012.
Did Diablo 3 launched in 2011?
Oh, well then I'm crazy.
Y'all want to relive some Diablo 3 and play that?
Oh, it did launch in 2012. I'm a dirty liar. I'm a dirty fucking liar. It did launch in May of 2012.
You know what? I'll say too, like Diablo 3, Diablo in general, but Diablo 3 would be a good game on or off stream. I would say that's a good game too, off stream, especially to just kind of go around, fucking go through some dungeons and shit and shoot the shit. Because you can kind of autopilot at a certain point once you've, gotten how the game flows and works and everything.
Oh, totally.
And just be talking about whatever and bullshit and stuff. It's a good game for that kind of thing, for friends to kind of just have something to do,
I've played 2,000 hours. Just under 2,000 hours of Diablo 3. Yep. Put a lot of time in.
Putting Persona to shame.
I liked it when it had the auction house and like everybody was, kind of rightfully so, super turned off by that.
Yeah,
I liked it. I never stopped playing Diablo.
You liked it?
I didn't love the auction house, but I liked Diablo.
I only heard negative things about the auction house.
Yeah, it was good. They took it out. It was wild.
I haven't played Diablo 3 in such a long time where playing it again would probably be like me playing it for the first time because I don't remember shit from it at all.
They've done a lot of good post game support too, where like it's kind of it's you're meant to like run it infinitely almost. It always gets harder and the loot always gets better.
Right. Yeah.
It's very neat. Overwatch 2 they announced.
Oh,
I was surprised about that. Like I thought they were going to keep going with Overwatch 1 for a long time because
calling it Overwatch 2 is a little strange.
Yeah. Well, I remember
I'll run down the features real fast. Adds a campaign mode. There are cooperative story missions, PvE story missions. They're also PvE. They're called hero missions, at least in the coverage so far. The story missions, obviously story. The hero PvE missions seem a little more like they're meant to be replayed over and over again. They have a kind of a progression system where you're picking talents. The one they showed is like Tracer's bomb now attaches to a bunch of enemies or whatever. They said there will be multiple new heroes, although they've only shown one, who is a Canadian. And they've said that all your cosmetics will carry over, and they will be Overwatch 1 and 2 will be completely compatible. You'll be able to play. I don't really understand what that means, but I guess you'll be able to play PvP with each other. You just won't be able to pick the new heroes. Maybe.
I don't know.
Calling it Overwatch 2 feels weird. With like, here's one new hero and some new modes, and a map
and a couple
or two.
New maps. Yeah. And then, the biggest thing is like the graphical. Well, not even the biggest thing. The biggest thing is them adding in story mode and actually like because they had been dabbling their feet in it, but had been really kind of like and only done maybe 4 or 5 kind of big events where you added in like little either for the anniversary or for Junkenstein's Revenge for the Halloween stuff, and every now and again they would put out a kind of story-ish mode where you could play co-op with people, and it really felt like this is what the game should have been at launch. As opposed, I mean, not to say that the multiplayer aspect of it isn't like that is the big draw for it. It's kind of like Call of Duty a little bit, where it's like, my big thing for it is I want to know more about the story and the world of that thing. But it is still fun to ad nauseum just shoot at people throughout, whatever, a million matches that you end up playing online. But the biggest reason it feels like they're giving for this is a new game is that story mode and the improved overhauled graphics or whatever it is. I guess they just look a little bit more cartoony, and it looks like it runs a little bit differently, but it doesn't. Yeah, like you said,
Lucio's hair glows now. That looks neat.
Yeah, it looks like Overwatch 1.5. And it really kind of feels like the things they had been teasing for 1 that they just kind of dragged their feet along for a while. I mean, it's been out for a few years. It's not like Left 4 Dead. I remember when Left 4 Dead 2 was announced, everybody was like, we're going to boycott Left 4 Dead because it's only been like a year since Left 4 Dead came out, and how could they abandon the game so early and whatever.
Left 4 Dead 2 is such a good game, though.
Well, it felt, and then everybody shut up the second it came out, but Left 4 Dead also provided a completely different game on top of, like, it was far more improved.
Very different, improved and different experience, for sure.
Yeah. And it even housed the original You didn't even need to have Left 4 Dead at that point. You could still play all the maps,
right,
with new characters and all that stuff.
Let's play Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah, let's play Left 4 Dead 2.
Sorry, I don't mean to sell you guys on Left 4 Dead 2 again. But Overwatch 2 seems like it's not even providing that much different. Like, I mean, I guess how many did they say? How many story modes, or did they just say story missions?
They just say story missions, hero missions. They don't really go into specifics.
Because I've been complaining the last few years that they haven't been every single Halloween comes around and it's still Junkenstein's Revenge again. And it's the same exact thing that we've been playing for the last 3 years. And I've just been waiting for them to put out more, but I guess they've just been working on another game on top of, they can keep throwing new heroes at the game, but that doesn't really interest me so much, as I've just been waiting for some sort of evolution. And I guess this is it. I was talking to you the other day, Eads, about, what, I mean, not that it's not worth to put out another $40 for something like this. It's like, I understand they're working.
Like you bring up, I think a lot of people forget that Overwatch was a $40 game. Overwatch, a half price game.
Yeah.
So to put out another $40, well, yeah, I get their games are fucking $90 here in Canada.
Yeah, that's insane. I forget that a lot. And God, just move to the States already.
No, I'll pay the premium.
You know what?
Here.
Keep the free healthcare. It's worth it. Just keep that and whatnot.
Yeah, like
what, games and liquor. Oh God,
afraid it's legal weed. That's okay.
That's pretty cool. Well, we're starting to get there. We're starting to get there. Not in Texas, but
somebody in the chat here brings up that it looks like a glorified DLC, which I totally agree with, and it kind of is, but like the Left 4 Dead 2 analogy, they imply that if you have Overwatch 2, you will have all the Overwatch until Overwatch 3, I guess. It seems like I don't know what the audience is like for people who are like, Overwatch, no thanks. Overwatch 2, hell yes. But they make it sound like if you get Overwatch 2, you have access to everything. Again,
well, it sounds like you're keeping all of your unlockables. Like one of the big things about
all
Overwatch
cosmetics will come over.
They have a lot of cosmetics and things that have come out via events and all this kind of stuff that would be a big slap in the face, I feel like, for a lot of their dedicated fans and players, if they just were like, well,
it would have been a step too far. So. That would have really turned the tide on Blizzard in a way that they would not have been able to.
It's a new game, so fuck yourself.
Yeah. I worked very hard to get the Lady Guinan.
This reference, by the way, is Samuel Clemens, otherwise known
as Mark Twain.
Mark Twain
in Star Trek: The Next Generation. Episodes times Arrow, part 1 and 2. Thank you. Okay, so we just got that out of there. I feel like that needed to be said. We're like, why the fuck do they keep talking like that?
I had to look it up. Like, who the fuck is the lady? Oh, that's Whoopi Goldberg. Okay.
Yeah. You should watch that episode. It's really great. I can't remember what I was going to say now. I spent a lot of time. Like, I have everything but 2 things for Zenyatta in that game. He's the one hero that I went really hard in the paint to try to get like everything unlocked for. I spent whatever credits I had to anytime an event rolled around, and a lot of the time I would just try to play as many matches as I could in arcade to unlock other loot boxes so I could potentially get whatever exclusive thing they had going on for Zenyatta. So I get that kind of like, well, it's nice that is all transferring over.
Right.
And hopefully there's a lot more to come as far as like extra stuff, because I feel like I've been to the brim with Zenyatta stuff. And
you can rest assured that there will be a whole new slew of cosmetics for you to spend additional money on.
Oh, well,
or slowly unlock through gameplay.
Yeah, slowly unlock. I used to way back in the day, around when that game came out, I did buy some loot boxes. I helped fund Overwatch 2 a little bit, just by
Blizzard
trying
through the tough times.
Yeah, I really wanted that the Cthulhu Zenyatta skin. I just really wanted that. It looks so cool. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't played it. I've only watched that gameplay trailer they put out. I didn't watch the cinematic. I'm like you said, I'm a sucker for those Blizzard cinematics. And even with the Overwatch, before I had even played Overwatch, I watched those cinematics and I was like, this is. I tweeted at them and said this, like, their stuff is like Pixar level quality of the emotion of it, and on top of that, the animation quality is just incredible. And I think they're really great. So even at that level, the story that's I'm excited to find out more about the story of that universe, because it's been lacking within the actual Overwatch 1. It felt like that was all a teaser to Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
So how do you think it would go over if they ever decided to? I mean, everybody wants Blizzard to make full feature length animations.
Yeah, really.
How do you think they would go over with like something? What do you think would be their strongest IP to do that? Would it be Overwatch? Would it be Diablo? Would it be?
Oh, it'd totally be Overwatch.
World of Warcraft?
Totally be Overwatch.
Well, they tried with World of Warcraft.
And that wasn't good. And that wasn't okay.
That wasn't a CG film though. That was something.
It was. Yeah,
a lot of it was.
It was not. It was not. It is not in the Blizzard canon. It is It was not made by Blizzard. It is not one of Blizzard's CG cutscenes. It did have CG.
Yeah.
Well, hypothetically,
that movie was great.
Hypothetically, if they came out with, like, say, even like a shorter feature length, like 60 minutes for an Overwatch feature length limited release, let's say, how do you think that would go over?
I bet people go nuts for it. People are so horny for the Overwatch characters that I've
literally horny for them.
You should. The porn scene is fucking. It's hard to even. It's hard to find not Overwatch stuff these days.
To go to a regular porn site.
That's what I'm saying.
Fucking Tracer.
Back in my day.
Oh shit.
Can I not say that? Can I not say Tracer?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Geez. I'm not surprised.
Oh, that all I heard was Tracer, and then kind of lost it in damn. But whatever you described, I don't need to hear it, but I guarantee it exists. I guarantee it exists.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about
it. Have either of you two seen the Two Dragons short, the one with the Hanzo short?
Oh yes,
Overwatch.
Yes.
I stand at attention every single time I watch that. It's just, it is so good. It gives me hardcore goosebumps every single time I watch it. And I had seen that before I'd even played the game, and that I was sold on that short alone. And every single time I go back to that one, it's so great. It's as far as storytelling goes, within visuals and within just straight up just stories. They're really great at doing that stuff. I don't know what the budget would be on something like that. I think they work in short form, one, to sell whatever game they're working on, but I don't even know if they have any interest in really trying to branch out beyond, like what they did with Warcraft.
The thing I always heard, and this was like 10 years ago, so probably doesn't apply anymore at all. It was around it was when the Diablo 2 cinematics were like the talk of the town. It was like, man, they should make a movie. They always said that animation was too expensive. Expensive. They'd have to sell. It has to be like a box opening, huge box opening movie weekend for them to possibly make their money back.
Yeah, that's the thing about between movies and games is, like, you can spend millions upon millions upon millions of dollars to make a Call of Duty, but it also then makes, $1 billion opening weekend when it comes out or whatever. Movies don't make $1 billion coming out, and they have to be the biggest movies. They have to be Avengers Endgame or, these big tentpole movies that have this larger draw. I'm not saying they couldn't do that. Avatar was an unproven property and whatever, but they had James Cameron behind it as far as like a name goes. But that still doesn't sell it. I think they could. I think they'd have a chance as long as they can sell it properly.
Animation gets cheaper every year as well.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
But it depends on how they do it.
As soon as I feel like as soon as it's profitable, I'm sure Blizzard will be all over that. I'm sure they would love to have an Overwatch show or movie or something going.
Here's what they do. They outsource all the animation work to China. Never mind.
That's a
word. Transition.
Speaking of good CG cutscenes, they showed the next WoW expansion. Wow, it's called Shadowlands. If you've played Warcraft or World of Warcraft, it's real fucking crazy cutscene where Sylvanas fucking goes back. Warcraft 3, the main bad guy, well, kind of, was the Lich King. You sort of deal with him in the second WoW expansion, Northrend. Icecrown? Northrend? I don't know what it's called. This new expansion, she goes back to the Lich King. Did I say Witch King? The Lich King. And tears his helmet in half. The helmet that the Ner'zhul was in once upon a time. Sylvanas rips it in half like it's made of paper. And that breaks the world. And
dang.
I don't know. That last expansion, it's just one man's take. Battle for Azeroth. My least favorite expansion. My least favorite World of Warcraft. Enough that it finally broke me out of the I must play every expansion cycle. Finally. And it seems like they're really like Battle of Azeroth. The whole thing was they jumped the shark. Was the problem with World of Warcraft, right? You started fighting dragons and then you fought whatever and then you fought demons who were trying to ruin the world and then you fought the world and then you fought the old gods who made the worlds and now it seems like they're kind of trying to hit on nostalgia in a big way of like, remember the Lich King? That's cool, right? And
when they rip a panda in half, call me.
Yeah. Great news. Pandas can be Death Knights. I don't know. It's I'm out on WoW finally. But
last time I ever
seem interesting.
got excited, not being a player, was the Mists of Pandaria. Everybody just getting excited the pandas were there. I've never been into WoW really. I didn't have that experience when I was younger. I played RuneScape because I didn't have a computer and I didn't have money for a subscription. I had a computer. I just didn't have money for a subscription service, Even when I had RuneScape like members only, it was because somebody let me play on their members account and stuff. So I was a real poor boy back then. And now I just don't have that nostalgia to tug on to motivate me to be interested in the new stuff that they come out with World of Warcraft. It would take World of Warcraft 2 for me to come out and be like,
it's not
hey,
gonna be,
it's never, I know.
Surely this was their chance.
Yeah. And yeah, I just don't have any interest in that, especially because WoW by its nature, it's a pretty grindy game, even with Classic, obviously. I had no interest in that because I know, even not being somebody who played that shit, just hearing the stories that was going to be something I wasn't interested in, and discouraged a lot of my friends too. Who were like, I think I'm going to play WoW and just grind it. I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. It makes no sense. You're going to kill your fucking channel. But yeah, I just don't have the drive at all to play WoW. But I also respect everybody who wants to play it and enjoy it. Go ahead, do it. I'm just not going to be about it because
But you're going to kill your fucking channel.
Grow up, kids.
They're going to kill that poor woman.
Grow up, kids. It's time for, even as a formerly dedicated WoW player, I'm out on it now as well. They're going to revamp the old world, which sounds kind of neat. Apparently levels 1 to 10 you will now play before you finish any expansions. 10 to 50 is the older content, and 50 to 60 is the Shadowlands. And WoW has kind of done this every few years, because the original game, you leveled 1, you went to 60. An expansion came out, then you went to 70. Expansion came out, you went to 80, or maybe 75 or something. Eventually, you were at like 120, and it just kept getting crazier, so they squished it down, and now they're squishing it down again. They also announced a new Hearthstone expansion, Descent of Dragons. I don't know anything about that as a non-Hearthstone player,
because there's just, I don't know, man, too many people that are good at card games. It's like if I were to dive into Team Deathmatch on Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
I was going to say, dive into Call of Duty Modern Warfare. All these kids have been playing for the last 10 years.
It's just no fun for me.
Another round of Gwent.
I'm at peace with that now. I used to be more, and I talked about this actually with Amanda yesterday. I was like, back then when, like her and I or whatever, we were playing those games, not when we were together, but when we were younger, right? When we were playing those games like Halo 2 and COD 4 and all that shit.
Project Gotham Racing 3.
All you play, yeah, right. That's all you played. And you just fucking dedicated your time to doing that. But now, like, there's just so many other games that you're aware of that aren't just that, and you have so many other options. Your time is split so much, especially if you do this for a living, and you have a bunch of games to play, and you want to try to spread it out to different variety. You can't dedicate that amount of time, so there's no way you're going to play as good as these people that are just playing that game. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's kids that are literally doing what you did before, just only cracking out and playing that game. You just can't compete against those people. So you have to be okay with being like, all right, I'm decent. I'm maybe better than the average player, but I can never,
you just got to put your faith in the matchmaking. If the matchmaking is working well, you should be able to be the best player or the worst player and still have a great time.
Yeah, exactly. And you also, the thing I've also gotten better with is just being okay with losing, being okay with dying, even though COD especially is notorious for just making you want to rage
down there into the salt mines.
But you gotta use that experience to calm and just pour some water over that salt, dissolve it, just let it flow away, brother. It's fine.
Yeah, it's all good, baby. Like our friend Shaky Tree says, it's all good, baby.
That's right.
That's all the BlizzCon news that I pulled. I got a couple of stories here. Quick ones, real fast ones. EA games are coming back to Steam, starting with Jedi Fallen Order. They pulled all the games off Steam back in, I was like 2011 area, right around Mass Effect 2, because I had to port everything over to Origin. Real fucking hassle, and made me lose all of the DLC for all my games, which really sucked. And now the games are all coming back to Steam, starting with Jedi Fallen Order, which comes out in like 2 weeks. And they're going to bring some other older titles like The Sims 4, Unravel 2, Apex Legends, and Battlefield 5. And then in the spring, now this is wild, in the spring, EA Access is going to launch on Steam.
Huh?
Which would imply that the entire catalog must be coming back. Because
I kind of like that.
It's strange. I think the EA Access subscription, like the Ubisoft Plus one, is
here.
For who? For whom?
Kill Origin. Get rid of that fucker. Never liked it.
I don't have. I'm not offended by any of.
Get rid of it.
The less, the better.
Listen, hold on. And I'm going to blow some effects here that Eads is going to do in post. Ready? Right?
Okay.
Now.
When's the last time that EA Origin gave you a free game? Never? Oh, right. Well, they better take a look at Epic Games, rather. Oh, God, my words are hard. Hold on, how do I turn this thing off?
They used to.
There you
go. Matt Eads here, first time, long time.
Yep.
They used to have a program called On the House where they would give you a free game every, like.
But they don't do it anymore. Eads,
it's true. 20 July 2018, they retired it. So.
Yeah. Well, my point is, like, if you're gonna have a platform like that, obviously you're gonna play. You're paying for EA Access, and there's some cool stuff there if people can afford it and put it in their budget for all the fuck ton of other subscription stuff that people now are having to deal with today. Like, if you're gonna have that. Have stuff like that's the one thing I can say good for Epic is, like, yes, they have all these exclusivity contracts and stuff, but they're also fucking throwing free games like at everyone. Mm-hmm. Like, I just literally got Soma earlier when you were talking about it because it was topical, and then someone was saying like, hey, it's free. I'm like, fuck, okay. And that's apparently, according to what you guys have said, is a quality game. I get that for free. Batman, the entire fucking Arkham
I was about to mention that. Like, I was surprised by that. Like, Arkham Knight included. That was nuts.
It's not like they're just giving you like B or even C list games for free. They're giving you like quality titles,
Unavowed was that's where we played. Unavowed was free on there. One of my favorite games that I would have never played had it not been this free little thing.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
I don't know. I'm not saying that I'm one of those people who are like, oh, I can't download another launcher and all that stuff. Like, if you have to do it, you have to do it. I'm about playing games, right?
We've been doing it since Origin.
Yeah, and I'm about playing games and supporting the developers that make good games, not punishing developers because of a launcher that they happen to be roped into because of whatever publisher deal and contract that they're in. But, I'm about them coming back to Steam. That's cool. Sure. It's neat.
And everybody hated Steam when it came out. The Epic Store thing is, we go through this story. We go through this every. The cycle continues. The Reapers kill all organic life, and we just go around again.
That's right.
And there will be a new launcher in a few years that we can all get really, really mad about.
However, I will say, how do you guys feel about the new Steam update for their visuals?
I kind of like it. I like the
Really?
I like the thumbnails. I like seeing my entire library. I like that I can't just see my library in a list anymore. I have to scroll down for 9.5 minutes to get through the 580 games.
Yeah.
I actually like. I'm being a little facetious, but I do like how it looks. I did not hate it.
I think I don't like it just because it's changed and I haven't adapted to it yet. And I'm like, how do I navigate this? I can't navigate this as efficiently as I used to because I'm not used to it. But I'll probably get used to it.
Change is bad.
That's
I
always
agree.
the thing.
Change is the worst.
But adjusting to change.
I unironically hate when anything I'm familiar with changes. That new fucking Twitter update
happened.
Suck my.
It happened to me on stream, and I was like trying to open something up on Steam, and I was like, "Oh God, what is this?"
It happened on stream too. Yeah, it was Halloween. During I was streaming, and somebody was like, "What do you think of the new thing? Like new update?" And I was like, I was just on Steam. I just what? And then I pulled it up, and because I had just unconsciously hit the restart Steam because there was no or whatever. And then I was like, "Oh shit."
I know what you're getting into. Yeah.
Weirdly enough, we also experienced that on Halloween because I remember mine launched in Russian, and I had to go Google how do I change Russian Steam back to English.
That's pretty funny.
I'm sure I'll probably get used to it. Or
I'm very good at it now. It's you click file, and then it's the first one. It's not the bottom, but the second one from the bottom, and it's the second one on the left, and then there's a drop down. You go to English. Done. I'm very fast.
Queen's English, right?
Well, but of course.
Obviously.
Ubisoft, the fine folks who make such hits as Assassin's Creed and Ghost Recon Breakpoint. They've been having a bunch of earnings calls lately. Last week we talked a bit about how Yves Guillemot, their CEO, just kind of came out and said like, "Hey, our games are not doing so great, you guys. We gotta fucking right this ship before it's too late." Just like some very real talk about how they missed marks and the things they were focusing on, maybe they shouldn't have been, and what they're going to do in the future. A separate earnings call where Eve has gotten out and said, quote, "Our goal is to put crossplay on all the PvP games we have over time." That's well on the way. Which sounds dope. In this modern warfare, I'm over here on the computer playing with someone on the PlayStation, playing with someone else on the Xbox. Sounds real dope. More crossplay.
Yeah. That's what we need. We need more, leaders in the industry, people that are, big names, such as Ubisoft, to embrace and adapt and acclimate that shit to their systems, because it's only going to happen and spread to everything else as that happens. Just like the legalization of weed in the United States.
Once it becomes the standard across many different states or companies.
Once Sony says weed is cool, then we can all have weed in our games again.
Right. Also, real quick, I'll be right back and talk about yourselves. I gotta let Malcolm in. He's outside right now. I'll be right back.
Puppy.
All right.
Yay, crossplay. Okay, cool.
Woo!
I was waiting for him to take his headphones off. I bet he's peeing. And he's embarrassed. I bet he's hiding a pee break.
I can't tell you the amount of times I've been streaming Overwatch and I'm like, somebody's like, "Oh, I love Overwatch. We should play together." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, let's hop on. What's your Blizzard ID?" And they're like, "Oh, I have it on console." And it just halts that right there.
Exact same with me and my friends. If Overwatch was crossplay compatible, I would play Overwatch. I own it and just kind of have never really played very much. Because they all play on Xbox and I play on PC.
Exactly. Yeah, all my friends who play it, same thing. They all have it on console and not actually on PC. So, the more it becomes a standard, hopefully it truly becomes the standard across the industry. And we're seeing that more and more. We were just talking about that with Modern Warfare, one of the biggest, multiplayer games around, if not the biggest. These days, probably not.
Definitely not. In the world where Fortnite exists,
Fortnite is also cross-platform. Yes, no, maybe so.
Yes, sure. Fortnite, I believe, was the first to go cross-platform. I think it was the Titan that Sony finally said, "Oh, okay, fine."
Yeah. So,
Yves Guillemot, by the way, the man who pointed a gun at Miyamoto on the E3 stage.
Wait, what?
When they came out for Rabbids, whatever the Mario Rabbids game was, the Ubisoft.
Yeah, I was there for
Mario
that.
versus Rabbids. Yeah, they came out. They each had like Mega Buster guns. Also, Miyamoto came out with a fucking gun on stage, which was
wait, maybe I wasn't
wild,
there for that.
Man.
I don't remember.
With the last story I have here, NBA Live has been canceled for the 4th time in the last 10 years.
Oh my goodness. What?
Yeah, that's EA's basketball game. It's been canceled. Surprise.
It's been canceled, Max.
It's been canceled, Max.
How dare you?
NBA Live.
Firefly?
And Firefly also.
15 years ago.
The two...
Not longer. No longer than that.
Canceled what?
2 greatest anime betrayals. Firefly's cancellation and now NBA Live's.
Wow.
Not really sure what's up with it. And NBA Live's been on a really bad track since like Elite 11 when EA, just like they did with BioWare, because I was working there at this time, put the company on a 1-year dev cycle to remake NBA Elite, and they released to this day, it is legendary how broken the demo they released was. So bad that it tanked the entire game for them. And NBA Live has just kind of not really ever found its feet again. But a sports rep said the delay was not related to development, which, again, is... If it is related to development, you probably say it isn't anyways, but...
Is it a licensing thing? Did he elaborate further?
There's no further elaboration. It doesn't sound like a licensing thing. It sounds like nobody wants to play NBA Live, and maybe they realize they're not going to sell any copies of this game that was delayed in the summer, and then it's been a real ride for old EA's NBA Live.
Well, how does this compare to something like WWE, which I know they just had their most recent one come out, and they're already experiencing their own turmoils around that.
If we're lucky, WWE 2K21 or whatever will get canceled.
Yeah, well, that's
for a long time.
Why do they have? Well, I shouldn't say why, but like, that's always been a series, particularly when it was under THQ's reign back in the day. That just needed to be put on hold for a little bit. Not even on hold, just give them a larger development cycle to actually try to put, like, I was seeing screen caps of the WWE 20 comparative to older WWE games where the graphics looked better. And I remember the same thing happening back in the day with the THQ stuff. It just seems like when you're put on that crunch development cycle, you can't put anything really that much better or more unique out if you're not spending more time on it. I also want to say that the developer of the WWE games for the last few years also has, left.
Yes, they didn't leave. They were the project was mysteriously taken off their hands in a deal that nobody really understands. Like 4 months before it was due to come out, it was taken and it was given to Creative Vision, who is the basketball team, the 2K Live, not the EA one, the 2K basketball game that still comes out every year. And I think it's been pretty well received the last few years, actually. But yeah, they took Ukes off the project, they gave it to Creative Vision, and it came out, and like it's
buggy, and
you're not wrong though. Those games have been shit for a long time. Because wrestling marks just buy that wrestling fans just buy them regardless. They don't give a shit. They this one's got the wrestlers look like they do in real life. Like it is fun to watch them wrestle sometimes when it's working, because you're like, this looks pretty good. This looks like the show. And that was enough for people to just be like, oh, it's Kurt Angle, huh? Okay, cool. But they've been bad games for like, I don't know, since 2014 or 15 maybe, and it's ballooning more features onto them every year. And
what title does the TRW or
I think that's
the wrestling
WWE 19?
Yeah,
18?
yeah, the TRWL. I mean, it's kind of like a wrestling machinima almost that we make is in 2K19, which is a bad fucking video game. Nobody should ever play it. Trying to work in it, I don't know which episode of the podcast it is. I have like a 30-minute rant where I go off of, but it's the most like, it's hard to describe. Like, your menu should start on the top. If you have a selector, there's a list of menu items that you're choosing. It should start on the top. It should start on the bottom. It should not start at a random spot based on which fucking menu you're on. It's just like simple quality of life stuff. It's like it was made by people who have never ever done anything other than make wrestling games. It's ugh. But 2K20 probably still gonna make money. You know, the type of people who are listening to the coverage and seeing the bugs are not the people who are buying it every single year anyways. So I wouldn't.
Max will get this
surprised.
reference. and the WWE fans are like Data in Star Trek Generations when he's drinking that drink at the bar, and he's just like, "Ugh, I hate this," and she's like, "More," and he goes, "Please, please." He wants more.
That is the perfect analogy.
Yeah.
Every single year.
This is revolting.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's all.
Pair that GIF or that clip with the just WWE fans for the games.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
and that's your news for the week.
Oh, that's the way the news goes.
Bouncing over some emails here. Let's see if we have any. Podcast at talkingreckless.com is the email address if you decide you want to write something into the show here. A problem, a conundrum for us to solve, or you can drop on our subreddit, r/talkingreckless, or you can leave voicemails on our Discord even, and sometimes we play those on the show. Mostly if they're about Will Smith. If you have nice things to say about Will Smith, the actor.
We can't be Wild West.
Exactly. Drop those on our Discord. We'll get the Will Smith fan hour started back up. I got no emails. I got nothing in the inbox. Somebody one last little check here on the old subreddit, but it seems like we have pretty much solved every issue in the universe.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think there's. Hold on, I got a voice message right here.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Hold on, here it is.
Okay.
Hey, Eats, first time caller. Just kind of a weird ask, but I see your beard on stream every day when you stream, and I'm just really excited. How much money can I send you to get like a little bit of that hair for personal reasons, man?
Oh, I see.
Anyways, answer at your leisure.
Well, I will. I will say forward all those questions to podcast at talkingreckless.com. We'll do a little talking after the podcast.
How much money do you have on it that he's gonna rub that hair on his nuts?
Asks for one hair from my ginger beard. I gave him 3. Podcast.
Mine.
TalkingReckless.com. Thank you. Get it back together. Podcast at talkingreckless.com is an email address where you can write into the show. Join us here on it. That's all I got to say. Thanks very much for hanging out with us. To Max, GassyMexican, and DanzNewz over on the Twitch and the YouTubes. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for jumping in this EX again. I really appreciate the...
Thanks for having us.
It was fun.
It feels weird talking about video games on this video game podcast.
Why?
We barely ever do it when I'm not with you two.
We're both well versed in the video games.
I know.
We play them.
It's strange.
Yeah, Planet Zoo's coming out, man.
Zoo's coming out, dude.
It's the time of video games.
We'll have a new EX sometime in the future to cover. We should do a Planet Zoo spoiler cast. Planet Zoo spoiler cast EX.
That'll be the EZ. That'll be the EZ one.
That's right.
If you enjoyed what you heard, you can support us on Patreon. You can support me. Not this doesn't go to Max or Dan. You can support Talking Reckless on patreon.com/talkingrecklesspodcast. I think that's all I have to tell you about. Our next TRWL event is coming November the 15th. Max and the mysterious masked Danielson will both be present.
I'll, see if I can sit in on the audience in that one. It sounds like a good tag team matchup right there.
A pay-per-view event you don't want to miss.
The tag team titles
Sunday
are being debuted Friday. Thanks again, everybody at home for listening. Biggest thanks to you for making this the biggest little video game podcast in the whole dang universe. We're gonna get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna go.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit, Watchmen is on. I forgot Watchmen is debuting on Sunday nights on HBO.
I've only heard good things about it, but I haven't
watched it yet, but I've heard good things.
Yeah, let's wrap this up and we'll watch the Watchmen.
I have to go watch the Great British Bake Off. Thank you very much. The finale premiered on Friday.
Well, there you go.
Paul Hollywood's not going to.
There you go. I shan't keep you, and neither shall he.
Ta for now. People on the stream and in podcast land. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you next week. It'll be episode 297 of the Talking Reckless podcast. See you then.
Too sweet.
Thanks for listening, stream. I'm going to turn this stream off right now.
Me too.
Max and Dan will talk in just a second.
Yeah.
Tag team titles. Everybody in Dan's chat as well. Thanks very much for watching, you guys. We do this every week. I should say, before we go, if you enjoy what you heard, we're on iTunes, we're on Spotify, we're on Google Play. Each and every single week, we do a Westworld podcast with 10 million trillion different things. Check us out over on the internet.
TalkingReckless.com. It's in the chat. I misspelled it. Don't click on that.
Whoopsie daisies. Easiest way is to honestly just look us up. Whatever if you use Spotify, look us up on Spotify. Absolutely. Use iTunes, look us up on iTunes. You know. Thanks again, everyone.
Cool.
Do it. Much love to you.
Ciao for now. Stream.
Bye.
One